One more time.
Welcome, welcome, and more welcome. Halito, everyone. First Lady, free real rap in the house. Laura, Laura. And then we also have, of course, we have the Peanut Nola 5042. We also have the baddest sports show in the Deep South, Indigenous Warrior, 504 Indigenous Warrior in the house. Um, I know it's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm back. And I've been meaning to get to this subject and talk about Messi, Jesse Jackson. Okay. If you a Jesse Jackson fan, you may not want to be in this chat. Black American in the house. That's the radio. Um, so I'm waiting. I got a couple of people that's going to be coming on the panel. And we got a lot of things to talk about and chime in today. Uh, I think about Al Sharpner. I think about Jesse Jackson. And there's a lot of wrong in these guys. And we're talking about a lot of wrong with these guys when it comes down to melanated people in America. They are part of the problem. They are a part of the problem. And we don't hold the people that has been holding us down accountable. Now I understand people say, why don't you be sympathetic to Messy Jesse? Because he's sickly right now. And you're kicking the man while he's down. No, I'm going to stump this man while he's down. Because guys like them are the reason why we don't know who we are. Guys like them are the reason why our people are running around saying that they're African. Now, we've been talking about the differences of what the phenotype, who we look like. And we are doing so many studies. Even your oppressor has done so many studies separating the two. But yet, you still want to be a part of their motherland. We get on these YouTube streets and we want to be a part of something. I remember when the Egyptian movement happened. Everybody thought that they were from Kemet. Everybody thought that they were Pharaoh. Everybody thought that they were Egyptians. No, because of the melanated skin, we are connected in melanin, but we are not the same. Now, I think it's cool for us to want to be something, but when reality hits, you're not them people. See, they called them Egyptians the land of the black face. Them people were different than who we are. The same way they've been tricking you for all these years, making you believe that you are a distant relative in your own land. What makes you believe that they will tell the truth about you? Jesse Jackson passed a lot of bills. He convinced melanated people to call themselves African American. American tragedy or American tragedy. 1988. He somehow, because they were getting, it started in the 80s, the early 80s. They were working on this movement, Black Power. See, they were calling you black, and some didn't like to be called black, so that some thought it would be cool if we were called African American, which is truly ridiculous. You can't be a continent and a country at the same time. Actually, they two continents, because politically correct, we are a continent. You have to blame the color Europeans. That's right. But you have to understand that Jesse Jackson, EP in the house, salute to you. Chief Fleming's in the house. You have to understand that these laws, you didn't get a chance to determine who you want to be. We allow these cotton picking leaders to determine the fate of melanated people. They went on to sign a bill. We the only people that have two continents under our name. I ain't never seen this. You don't see Chinese call themselves Chinese Americans. They Chinese. You don't see Mexicans call themselves Mexican Americans. They're Mexicans. Chile in the house. I want you guys to understand this. Jesse Jackson pulled off some demonic things. He somehow convinced melanated people to leave their truth on who they are. He somehow got paid off because one of the things he said was, we need something to be proud of. Melanated people need something to be proud of. Damn it, we proud of who we are. We need something to be proud of. We proud being copper. Melanated. These people making the decisions for you and me. Nobody told our ancestors, nobody told our grandmothers, our grandfathers. They just passed a bill on their own and determined who you are. I'm a proud American by blood. Every last one of you American aborigines were born here. This is your land. But they trying to strip everything that we built and make it their own. And they use the token Negro. There's always that token Negro that will sell out our people. Brown's in the house, Alito. It's always that token Negro that you got to watch in the group. That token Negro wants to, oh, we all melanated. We all, well, should be one. As long as you don't know your history, we all should be one. They had a token Negro on TikTok with a African. It doesn't matter. We the same color. Damn your culture, huh? Damn where you come from, huh? It's sad. And we are losing ourselves. We don't hold these cotton picking Negroes accountable for the damage that they have done to our people. We don't hold them accountable for our situation. The 80s was a terrible time because not only was we stripped away from our name, it was the drugs that was pulled in our communities. That was the 80s. Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, all of these men, along with Jesse Jackson, of destroying melanated people, pouring drugs into our community, removing the small business owners, replacing them with Arabs, Vietnamese. And this is the things that I've been saying for a long time. We have to wake up because it's falling apart. We're falling apart as a nation of people. The 80s was a terrible time. Some of you guys might think that was a cool time for us. No, it was a terrible time for us. Our name was stripped away in the 80s. Our dignity of who we are and drugs was put in our communities. How you doing, Chief Real Rap?
Yeah, bro. Peace, 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 bro. How you doing? Um, Peace to the tribe, man. Peace to the lineage. I agree. And salute to my brother, 504. I agree, man. With if you look at time, if you study time, I know that a lot of people like to listen to music. So if you look at certain eras of music, it'll tell you that certain times we were in a rebellious state. We were in a time of I guess if you want to call it revolution, in a time of revolt. And uh that was the era. There was a lot of stuff going on in the 80s. There was a lot of stuff going on in the 70s and the 60s and time before. But if you want to focus on that time period, it was more of a time period of, even though, it was a lot of destruction going on, self-destruction and destruction from outside forces. There was a beacon of hope with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Even though it may not seem like it was passed amongst the people, there was still knowledge of self, of who we are and who we've always been. And salute to the few ancestors that are worth praising. Because I don't believe all ancestors are worth praising, man. You got a lot of cool ancestors that either accepted the deal, got paid off, or you have some ancestors that really, had their backs against the wall. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a one size fits all. You had some that, got lied to, believed the lie. You know what I'm saying? You had some people that were forced out of their homes, But the one thing that I had to update my understanding, overstanding of is a lot of times when so-called white people big you up or big certain ancestors up, most likely a lot of times they probably coons, man. So the Buffalo Soldiers can't celebrate. I can't celebrate them no more. A lot of the Black Wall Street that we like to celebrate, I can't celebrate it no more. Because when I got down into the research and really looked up these people that we were about to bring up, you know what I'm saying? They're not to be praised. They became millionaires because they sold out, not because they work hard, got everything robbed from them, and how we say got it out the mud. Nah, I wasn't like that. So when you got figures like Jesse Jackson, right? To my relatives, I didn't send it to everybody, but I sent a post on Instagram where it was asking what should we call ourselves. And in 1989, I learned this. It had only been 22 years since the last name change. I was born in '89. So people that are older than me predate our last name change. Before it became African American, you know, they were fighting over the word black. Some people took pride in it, some people looked at it as a sign of disrespect. But all that shit, black, colored, Negro, I prefer the term Negro because that's what I like to call these niggas with no knowledge. Negroes. But all that shit is socio-political terms, man. All of it. They were all, if you look up the definition, came out of the figment of someone else's mind. It was given to you. That's why I don't accept it. I don't accept nothing given to me by this bullshit society. I don't. My own name is a slave name. Donovan means dark people. Then Jamal is like some brotherly shit. It means peace, which is Aramaic. Jamal, I believe, is Proto-German, if I'm not mistaken. And then Thomas is some English shit. That's my slave name. I don't go by that. I'm real rap. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I use myself as an example. My own family. I went back to my 4 times grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Her name was Helena Senegal. She was given that name. That's her slave name. But her people accepted the deal because I found in 1880 she was in New Orleans. She was like 30, roughly like 33. And in 1860, when it all went down, because everybody know about 1830, but you got a 100-year gap from 1830 to 1924 to when where the Vital Statistics Office was created by that bullshit artist, that devil, Walter Plecker. But there's a lot of people that's involved in this genocide, not just him. So he can't get all the blame because you gotta spread it around. A lot of half breed motherfuckers end up turning their back. That's how they got in. Their daddy was white. They attempted to. They didn't attempt. They did it. They made it with our people. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I want to ask you. I want to sit there and talk about what you just said.
I'm gonna just finish this one point. I got you. And then, you know, you have a lot of the so-called mixed breeds, half breeds. You know what I'm saying? That's how they got in. They snuck in, and a lot of this land shit I want to get into, but I'm gonna save that for after Peanut asks the question. But the blame, it is spread around, and that's what I focus on is them 100 years. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you have a lot of people. If you go back to my lineage right quick, Peanut, her mother is the one that would have traded, you know what I'm saying, and my family, my so-called family. They would have traded because before that they were always pure blood Indian, but they would have been acknowledged as Indian. So in the mid 1800s, that's where it happened in my so-called family, my lineage. Family is a term of servitude. That's why I don't use that term. But the thing with my lineage, that's where it happened for me. And unfortunately, if you have a birth certificate, if your family's on the census, unfortunately, you share the same experience, the same story. Not to talk down on anyone's family, you know what I'm saying, or lineage, pardon me, because we all have different stories, but similar, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Chief Peanut, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is New Orleans is a prime example. Um, the Mark Moriels, Sidney Bartholomew's. These are the half breeds that came in that were mixed with the white man, and they used their curly hair, light skin, to be able to manipulate the melanated people in that community. A lot of souls were sold. Okay, so that was in the 80s. These things, what happened in New Orleans, the people that because New Orleans was a melanated city, or all the way melanated city. So I understand exactly what you're talking about, but when we're talking about 1980s, and we're talking about even from the beginning, Rodney King, and we're talking about the rise, the drugs that was put in our communities.
That's what we got to
It
touch
all
on.
stems from Jesse and his crew. I'm not putting it all on Jesse Jackson
No, for sure.
because that's why I brought up Al Sharpton. I brought up. There's so many
Hey,
that
hold on.
failed our community.
Hey, hold on, right quick, before we get into it, because I'm gonna touch deep on them drugs, because I've done bills on that, but I want to address something real quick in the chat. Uh, Shaylay Wu has said the Africans have a hand in a lot of this too. The Moors, I agree. I'm in complete agreement. Like, but this the thing though: the Africans, the Siberians, you know what I'm saying? Even the Slavs. That's what white people really are. They're Slavs. I'll get into that definition as we get into the bill. They all benefited by coming together, as well as the European Moors. They got the biggest hand in it, in my opinion, because they're the ones that helped to breed, you know what I'm saying, and help mold these Slavs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in agreement with Shayla on that. And then the brother
Chief Fleming said the same thing.
Chief Fleming. Well, look, he went a little deeper. He said more are Asiatic. Let me say this. That's correct. You know what I'm saying? It had many names. That landmass over there had many names. It was known as Europa. It was known as Asia. But let's get into so-called Africa right quick before we get on these coon ass niggas. Africa was never Africa. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna try to do my best. I got I got a couple maps. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do my best because well look, fuck, I can share my screen. I don't know if my internet is up. I'll try to share it and I'll show you where Africa is really named Barbaria. I'll do that while Peanut is talking. Um, and you'll be able to see Africa was just a small town. You know what I'm saying? It was never it was never this glorious thing that they try to make it seem to be today. We built Africa. We built up Africa. I always tell these cool niggas, these Negroes, if Africa is what it's supposed to be in the so-called motherland, I said it earlier, then we the great, great,
We
great
the grandmother.
great, 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 great. You know what I'm saying? Times a million, times infinity, grandmother. They got everything from us. They get everything from us. Nothing for real is really indigenous out there. I heard a cool ass nigga attempt to say cotton and corn and a couple other resources are indigenous out there. Nigga, we put that out there. If Africa is, I call it Barbaria by its proper name because it had many names too, but it was known one of them was Barbaria, so I'll go with that. If Barbaria was what it said they were or was supposed to be, Why do they come out here today? Why are they out here? Why are these Negroes out here? Because when they before they get out here, they'll call the American Aborigine an Akata. You know what I'm saying? They let you know we not the same. You know, before we get in on these real cool niggas that's from here. So the thing is this, they're all barbarians. Europe and Africa, so-called Africa. Barbarian. They all barbarians. So allegedly, when the so-called Moors left in 711 to go and domesticate Europeans, they try to teach you like they would go and domesticate the white boy. No, they were going to domesticate so-called other barbarians. If they teach how they teach, because the so-called original European is a so-called black man. So if you remember the movie Gladiator, right?
That's
In the
right.
beginning, when they went to war with the barbarian tribes of Germany, you know what I'm saying? Which I believe was called Gaul in that time. They whitewashed it and made it seem like it was white people, you know what I'm saying? But these are all so-called black people that are warring against other black people. They all cousins. So that's the whole thing about barbarians. They all cousins. When they try to teach you about, that's my last point before we get back on these cool niggas. When they try to teach you about Carthage or the Carthaginians in Rome, them's was cousins. They was all cousins. That's why once Carthage fell to Rome, what happened? They mixed in with them, and they didn't look no different because the Romans wasn't white; they was black, so-called black, and that's what they don't teach you, man. All these people in history, for the most part, not all, but for the most part, are so-called black people, and they're the same black people that we got problems with today. They're the reason why we have
Yeah,
these
they
issues.
won't even admit that we the that original people, not just us, is melanated. So that makes a lot of sense what you're talking about.
These is all facts, bro. Like these are all facts, man. I ain't trying to,
Right.
say I pat my back, but these is all facts. Now to these cool niggas like Jesse Jackson, right? Let me give you a little history on Jesse. If you go and you look at that famous picture before Martin Luther King got killed, and I want to read a stanza from Martin Luther King because I want to put a little respect on Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? They want to make it seem like he was this whole ass nigga and he was just this soft ass, but we're gonna put some respect on the ancestor, man. Because I had to come to the realization myself. But this thing about Jesse, you go back and look at the picture. Everybody that's not wearing a tie in that picture when he was in Memphis, they knew he was gonna die. Straight up. These allegedly, but these are facts. It's straight up facts. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Jesse is this: he's never meant well for so-called black people. Period. How can you mean well when you
Never.
create the Rainbow Coalition and you promoting the homosexual uh the homosexual lifestyle to our boys and girls, man. Our girls and boys. Why? Our children. Why? That's genocide. Look, people's life decision behind closed doors, consenting adults, that's one thing. I don't care what adults do behind closed doors,
That's
but leave the
right.
children out of it though. Leave the
They're
children
pushing this
out of it.
agenda for a very long time.
You know what I'm saying? Let them be children. They grow up fast enough anyway. So Jesse Jackson has never meant well. Now he's not intelligent enough to put the African American game plan together. He didn't create that, but he get credit for that because he pushed that. He's smart enough to do it, not intelligent enough to create it. There's a difference. And the thing is, him and a lot of these cool niggas mean us know well. A lot of these fake ass scholars, a lot of these people that y'all see on social media, on YouTube, the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, the Umar Johnsons, even the other scholars, man, even the ones that don't have the turmoil and the beef and the chaos, even them, because they never taught you that you was American. They with the bullshit too. They taught you that you was black, which has no landmass, no ties to real lineage, no heritage, no origin. They said you was black. They never said you was an American Indian. They never said you was a aborigine or aboriginal to this land. You were American aborigine. They never taught you that. So fuck them niggas too. Straight up. Whoever that is. All them coon ass niggas that was teaching in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. I don't hear no retractions. Niggas done updated the information. Tariq Nasheed ain't made no retractions. What happened to Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, and 4 when he was teaching you that you was African?
Yeah. And all of a sudden now he's trying to jump on the bandwagon of the Aborigine. But 504, we ain't heard nothing from you. What's going
My
on, brother?
bad, bro.
Hey man,
My bad for
Anito, man. Classic session, you know. So
I
I
get
was
to
just
cooking, man. I get to cook. I
No, no,
get
no, no,
going.
no. I just want to make sure he awoke.
no, actually no. Actually, I was gonna tap into what he was saying, you know, because like you say, I watched 1, 2, 3, 4 of Hidden Colors. I got to thinking like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. This ain't adding up here, you know. So I went to go digging and stuff, and digging, like, wait a minute. And I'm like, hold on, they run a game on me. Hold on, they run a quick game on me. And then I started hearing about the little situation with Jesse talking
Sound like
about.
he's is he all right? Real rap?
Hold on, let me
Is
see.
his
Cause
mic all right?
I'm at work, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
he
at work,
good.
so I'm not getting a better reception.
He good. Ask the chat. Ask the chat. He good on my side.
All right, go ahead. That might be just me. I'm a mic. I'm a mute up. Go ahead.
Hey, you can hear me now? I just want to make sure y'all hear me. I'm at work, and I want to make sure you got a good reception.
All right, we got some new people in the chat. We got Miss Wright. Shout out to you, Miss Tramaris. Shout out to EP. I'm just shouting out the people who just came and Samantha Wright. All right, we rocking. Let's go.
Okay, so back to what you were saying about the message situation, you know, and there was some information and video out where they were showing where he did
Also,
go
Lady
down
Solo.
to. And he did go down to well, I ain't gonna say go down. He went up to whatever I believe the courthouse and filed the paperwork to change us officially over to African Americans, when in fact nobody gave him authorization to do that. See what I'm saying? So like you were saying though, brother, everybody that's of color, they use them to manipulate the situation to do with their agenda. You see,
Now, that's what I want to
and
ask you. Do you remember any of your, shout out to Real Talk TV. Do you remember anybody from your family like co-signing to Jesse Jackson,
nah,
signing our name to be
nah,
African? Because I
nah,
don't know where that come from.
no. I just heard of this like I'm not gonna lie. I just started hearing about this situation with Jesse about I want to say about 5, 6 years ago. So I just missed the information, and then the same information started coming back again. So I started looking stuff up, and yes, it was true that he did what he did. But there was a guy, I can't remember his name. He went right after Jesse went up there and changed our name to African Americans. He went right behind Jesse. I want to say like a month or two later, and try to erase that African American stuff. But the people dismissed him because they dismissed him because he was by himself. You know, so
Um,
that's what and his name
Chief
didn't
Real
hold
Rap
no
want me
weight.
to change, share his screen, but I'm in the truck, so I can't
Oh
share
yeah,
his screen. But there's anything you can do to share that screen,
Nah, bro. All you
nah, I
gotta do
can't.
is just hit the button, bro. It's still like you could share. You could share
Okay,
from the
what
cell
button I'm
phone.
hitting?
Like you gotta hit share screen on mine. Like you gotta hit. Like, do you see my second screen where it say where it's got the like TV icon?
Okay, your second. You what? Hold on 1 second. Now what I'm doing?
Go to add to stream. Like go to the guest. Go to
Okay, go to the
add to
guest.
stream.
Okay. Oh, I see it.
And all
There you
right,
go, brother.
all right, there we go. All right, so look,
All
Miss
right.
Wright, I got you, Miss Wright. I'm gonna answer her question first, then I'm gonna get into this map, and I'm gonna tell you why the idea came. But that's another map of Barbaria. So she wanted to know. She said, "Can you please talk on Bass Reeves? I read some old newspaper articles on him, and now I'm giving him the side eye because what you were taught, what I was taught, what everybody here was taught. Salute to James Roselle. I see you, bro. Charles Johnson, Real Talk TV, First Lady, I see y'all, and it was somebody else. I don't want to forget nobody. I'm gonna shout y'all as I see y'all, Lady Solo. I'm gonna shout y'all as I see y'all. But to answer your question, um, we were all taught Bass Reeves, if not by a so-called white person, by somebody that was taught by a white person. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, Bass Reeves was out there attacking his people. You know, they try to make these people seem like heroes. They're heroes to them, to the Slav. You know what I'm saying? They're not heroes to us. Salute to my brother Kurt Bronze War. I see you, bro. They're not heroes to us. These are people that went out of their way, you know what I'm saying, to attack their own, to go out and because why? Allegedly they spoke what? Multiple languages, multiple dialects, was able to move around, probably disguise themselves, all kind of shit. Double age. And the thing is this, like with the Civil War, that wasn't our war. That had shit to do with us. None of these wars do. You know what I'm saying? So they'll tell you that, before prior to the Civil War, Bass Reeves and people like him were out there going and doing the bidding of the Slav, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what they were doing was they were like they were doing the original job of what police were privatized security. You know what I'm saying? So back to the Civil War, a few years down the line, back to that, like that had nothing to do with us. We free people. Even the ones that are so-called allegedly in slavery, that's prisoners of war, man. That whole narrative is changed around. Because when you read, see, if I was to change my screen and go to if I was to go to definition of a Slav, etymology, just so y'all can understand this. A brief history. They tell you it's brief. Don't take that long to read. It says a slave, late 13th century. I'm gonna come back to this. Late 13th century. Person who is in shadow or property of another, right? So this is the part that I want to focus on right here. The oldest written history. Some of y'all have never seen this before. It's cool. No problem. That's what we're here for. We're here to build. The oldest written history of the Slavs can be shortly summarized. Myriads of slave hunts. Myriads means a lot, numerous. Myriads of slave hunts and enthrallment. Enthrallment means like mental torture, physical and mental torture of entire peoples. The Slav was the most prized of human goods with increased strength outside his marshy land of origin. So a lot of people like to tell you that the Caucasian comes from the Caucasus Mountains and it's only mountainous region that he comes from. Well, that's not true because I was just in the mountains and the mountain does plateau and you have flatlands in the mountains as well, even in high elevation. So it's telling you that he lived in what? Marshy land of origin, outside of his marshy land of origin, hardened to the utmost against all privation. He was industrious, he was a hard worker, content with little, he was good humored, cheerful. He filled the slave markets of Europe, Asia, and Africa, all the same place. That's why they were sold in the same markets, because these are all the same people, all the same places, people of the same lineage. It must be remembered that for every Slavonic slave who reached his destination, At least 10 succumb to inhumane treatment during transport into the heat. Into the what? To the heat of the climate. So this sounds like the transatlantic slave trade to me, just on the Eastern Hemisphere. And didn't they tell you that allegedly your ancestors were stacked like tuna fish? You know what I'm saying? And they were doing all kind of foul stuff out of necessity in chains. Well, it sounds like if you're dealing with mental and physical torture of entire peoples, and y'all know that the Slav is the so-called white man, the so-called white boy, you know what I'm saying? He's known as a Slavonic slave. He was sold in Europe, Asia, and Africa. You know what I'm saying? He was happy about his situation. Cause why? Because he was content with little. Why? Because you are people with no history. So yes, you're gonna be content with little. Like one of my mentors told me this before I continue to read. He said if he was to leave his son in the room, in a secluded room for 30 years, and he gave me multiple languages, and if you pulled him out, he'd speak one of them languages, all the examples he gave me. But then he said, if I put my son in a room for 30 years and didn't teach him nothing, had nothing planned, you know what I'm saying, never communicated, interacted, what would he speak? I said nothing. He was like, correct. So if you are people that were given nothing, had nothing, you know what I'm saying? They tell you that they're the real cavemen. They tell you that. They tell you that they came from apes and all this other shit. They tell you that. We didn't come up with that. We didn't break that science down. They did. Even though it's a theory, it's not true. They tell you that they come from animals. Why? Because they do have animal DNA. My brother 504 will tell you that. They have dog DNA. Get back to the read though. And focus on this.
You're right, brother. They do, and some of them have genetic disease, genetically things in their blood to where they some white people grow tails on them at birth.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it on this
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
We've seen it.
They grow
This
some
channel,
white people
this
grow
channel
tails.
breaks a lot of news, man. This channel puts a lot of people on game. But look, I want them to focus on during transport into the heat of the climate. Focus on that because you're gonna see that again. It says, indeed. Now this is a first-hand account. Ibrahim, 10th century, himself in all probability a slave dealer. They know what time it is. Says, quote, and the Slav cannot travel to Lombardy on account of the heat. What? On the account of the heat, which is what is fatal to them. Who's the main people today that's got all that damn sunscreen on when they go to the beach? You know what I'm saying? They out here looking like Casper, transparent. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Got,
bro.
they got that stuff on their nose, on their arms, their back, their legs. You know what I'm saying? Got to put it in their scalp, else they gonna burn. Why is that cracker the Slav cracker Bill Gates? Why is he always talking about climate control? Because these people fear the sun. Now, what group of people don't fear the sun, get charged up by the sun, get energy from the sun, are children of the sun? So-called black people, American aborigine, you know what I'm saying? Melanated people around the world. But I care about us first. So I'm gonna name us first because we come first. We don't have no problems with the sun, but they do. These are the same people that sponsor your Jesse Jacksons.
And sponsor Al Sharpton too.
Al Sharpton, a rat, a known rat,
They
a
also,
rat.
yeah,
And I want to cut in and tell you guys because you guys are building so awesome. I want to talk about the hair of the Indian. Okay, the hair of the Aborigine Indian. I want people to understand that I made a video about this. Now we think, and I think what we've been taught is that the way an Indian would look. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the way it's been pushed upon us. that they would have that Asian type of hair texture, or they would have hair similar. Like I guess I want to say to a Mexican. Now I want people to understand that you can have woolly hair and be that's the difference between our people. We can grow any texture. Okay, we are the creators of all people. Our women has the gene of everybody. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. What you think about that, Chief Real Rap?
I mean, I agree. I just want to touch on one thing because the brother said Africa is Libya. Let me tell you, bro. Uh, Libya just got liberated.
Yeah, they just became a it just became a part of
Bruh,
the country.
bruh, y'all need to get this in y'all minds, man. Africa ain't shit. It's not even called Africa. It ain't shit though. But it say
But
Libya became
Africa is
independent as
though.
a kingdom
But
in
don't you know?
19, huh?
Not to cut you off though, brother. You do know that we do. Some people don't even know that Africa has been renamed after so many times where Africa don't even know its real name.
It don't, bro. Look, let me tell y'all about this Africa thing. Because people love to say that Africa got its name from Scipio Africanus or whatever. Look, bro. Look, I'm gonna show y'all the different time. I'm gonna show y'all different maps in a minute. But Africa is just a title, man. That's all it ever was. It's just a title. It's like Washington D.C., man. Washington D.C. ain't shit. I mean, no disrespect from anybody that's from D.C. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the system. DC ain't shit. They ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? Worth like really mentioning in the world in the scheme of the world. You know what I'm saying? We know about DC because it's supposed to be the alleged capital of the system of the beast. You know what I'm saying? That 13 square mile radius. That's where 1871, the Act of 1871 comes into play with the second constitution. But the thing is this, it's just a title, bro. It's just a place of where people govern. That's what Africa was. It was just a place where some of the rulers from Rome and a lot of other people that beat Africa the fuck up decided to decided to make a kingdom out of governing. Kind of like how if you have like today, you have what's that called? Like where you have embassies. Africa is just the title of an embassy. That's it. It's nothing special about Africa, bro. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing special about none of the countries out of Africa. Most people can't even tell you there's 54 countries in Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about Africa because nothing special came out of Africa. Everything out of Africa was given to it. They try to lie and say that Africa gave to the world. That's a lie. Everything that you was taught in school, everything that you think you know, no offense, relatives, is a lie, man. Until you came into the truth and you know what the real truth is, your ancestors created and started everything. Period. I'll break the Instagram down. Let's go to Instagram right quick. We're gonna get back on Jesse. I ain't trying to take over your platform, bro. But bro, people got to know this shit.
You're not taking over my platform.
Africa ain't shit, bro. Ain't never gonna be shit. Never was shit. They daddy wasn't shit. They granddaddy wasn't shit. None of them
This is
ain't
what
shit.
building about, my brother. You got to understand. The host got to know how to sit back and we building. Okay. If I wanted to make this about me, I wouldn't have y'all on the panel. Okay.
Right, right. Hey, look, bro. This is what we do. This is what we do. I want y'all to see this. This is a baby, bro. This is a baby. This is what we do right quick. Just because I'm petty. This is what we do. This the ancestors. That's them. This is a direct example of what we do. He ain't done with him. He playing with him. Hold on. Come here, little boy. He playing with him.
Yeah, I remember this.
Oh yeah, he playing with him. Now the little Slav want to cry. Don't cry, little Slav. Don't cry. Don't cry. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it
Real
is.
Talk TV said that she had to disagree with this. She was taught by a real educator, not school. Oh, well, that does not apply to you, sister. That
Yeah,
don't
if it don't
apply to you.
apply, I'm not talking to you if it don't apply. Hold
It
on, I
don't
want to
apply to
stop.
you.
I want to stop right, man. If I could zoom in on this, bro. This is this is one of the Bonaparte murals. You know what I'm saying? This is the mines right here. This is y'all's direct ancestors. Not a white face in sight. You know what I'm saying? All melanated, copper colored people, all of them. And once again, I talk in a certain way because I know we got bitch ass niggas listening. You know what I'm saying? So if what I say don't apply, no disrespect at all. None. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I don't ever try to talk down or condescend. You know what I'm saying? But I understand not everybody has knowledge or not everybody started with knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But if it don't apply to you, no disrespect at all, for sure. No disrespect. These are the ancestors. Now look, the ancestors created this, man. I wish my story stuff wasn't in the way, but this is a I'll call it a couple, copper colored couple, man. You know what I'm saying? Just the female right here. This one of the chiefs, decorated in gold, down to the socks. And we wasn't even tripping off gold like that. You know what I'm saying? Our resource was jade. That's what we like. We like jade. It's one of the ancestors smoking. Been doing that. Been blowing that herb. You know what I'm saying? But to go back to this right here, that's our greatness, man. And that's why I want to see my people get back to. But let me show you something though, because it was something I wanted to show y'all. I didn't want to just be petty and show a little white Slav getting slammed. There
But
was a
my
reason.
thing is though, I have a question. Though my thing is, but why is it our people are still so sleepy and trying to connect themselves to Africa when there's so much information out here telling you otherwise? You know,
Because man, like, see, like people say that the truth brings people together, right? And that's a lie. The truth don't bring people together, bro. Like the truth separates, man. Because not everybody is ready for strong light. You know, that's another example that my mentor gave me, man. He was like, if somebody's been in darkness once again for 30 years in a cave and you come and flash any amount of light, it's gonna blind them. You know what I'm saying? And people rather run back to the darkness than to come to that light and be blinded. Like these right here, right? All these people right here. These are your so-called ancestors too. But unfortunately, these were what we call tail and the Tonkatons. And all of them are copper colored, bro. All of them. You know what I'm saying? All these people are unfortunately these are the traders, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't explain these murals. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I work on understanding the hieroglyphs and understanding the
The
meanings
young
of
lady asked, "Who is your mentor?"
Chief Kodaki Bey. Kodaki Bey, that's my guy, that's my brother. And Big Chief Ikahana of the Iroquois Confederacy. But it's a hand sign that they're making, right? If y'all can see it, it looks like the peace sign, right? You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is they're begging for mercy. So I'm showing you this to show you've been dealing with this for a very long time. You've been dealing with traders for a very long time. Jesse Jackson's lineage is probably one of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? And this one he about to whip the shit out of one of these cats on the ground. He about to beat the shit out of him. That's why if you notice, if I can zoom in, if you notice he bleeding. All right, now let me zoom in. Hold on. All right, it's not really zoom in how I want. But he's bleeding though. Right here, if I find like another picture of it, because I got multiple pictures of this, he's bleeding. All of them are bleeding, and they all about like he got his locks ripped out. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors have been dealing, your real ancestors have been dealing with tail and the talking. So look, he got his head cut off. That's a head right there. He got his head cut off. That's what he chopped. He chopped his head off. That's what that is. Pardon me. But your ancestors have been dealing with this for a very long time. That's why I came to my Instagram to show you. This is nothing new. You've been dealing with this for a very long time. And this is Congress. So y'all was asking about my mentor. It's a page of Congress. Uh it's it's h.con.res331 if you want to look it up. Directly from Congress, but they're telling you that our ancestors who are you, I tell people you are your ancestors. So it's not just to big up the ancestors, I'm bigging up everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's listening to this on the playback that know who they are, that have knowledge of self. This is for you. It says Congress specifically acknowledges and reaffirms the trust, responsibility, and obligation of the United States government to who? Indian tribes, not the Moors, not Africans, barbarians. You know what I'm saying? Not these so-called anybody else that these niggas want to be. None of them. It says to Indian tribes, including Alaska natives. Now, when they say Alaska natives, they talking about our real ancestors that actually live up there, the melanated ones. You know what I'm saying? That was handling their business. It was giving credit to the Iroquois Confederacy. If I pull up another page of it, you know what I'm saying? It was giving credit to all the Indian nation, all the Indian tribes around the nation, in our nation. But I'm gonna finish reading. For their preservation, protection, enhancement, including the provision of health, education, social and economic assistance, programs as necessary to assist tribes to perform their governmental responsibility to provide for social and economic well-being of their members and to preserve tribal cultural identity and heritage. That's all we trying to do over here. Pardon me, that's not what we're trying to do. That's what we're doing. We preserving our tribal, cultural identity and heritage. And it goes a little deeper. It says the Congress also acknowledges the need to exercise the utmost good faith in upholding its treaties with various tribes, as tribes understood them to be, and the duty of a great nation is to uphold its legal, moral obligations for the benefit. And it continues, it says all its members. And it goes on to say that we've been here for time immemorial. That means forever before recorded thought. We've always been here. Our ancestors have always been in rulership. That's all this is. It's just showing you pictures of the ancestors in rulership. That's it. Hold on. It's supposed to be more pictures. All right. So yeah, so that's all it's doing. These are our female chiefs, man. See how we do. I I don't like to say queens, man. I like to say chiefs.
Oh,
If you want,
please don't bring up queens and kings here. I'm probably the only chief in the sector that's really against that.
yeah, for real,
That's a
bro. Like
European term.
it is, man. It's a term. It's a title of nobility. We don't
And
believe in
I,
that.
and let me say one thing too about that. People got to understand that the king and the queen were thieves. We're not thieves. Every nation that had a king and a queen, whether it was African, whether it was European, they were thieves. They stole from the poor people. They were not they were not to be patted on their back, talk about credit. I want people to understand that these people were thieves. So I can't stand by a thief. I
Exactly,
like chiefs and the chiefs.
because if you go to England and you're gonna see all the artifacts and the golds that didn't stole from other places. Queen, what the old lady name of Queen Elizabeth, all them golds and artifacts and stuff that they got, they stole that. They didn't earn that.
Hey,
Everything was
check this
stolen.
out, bro. Hey, check this out. I found this out about one of the queens, man. I can't remember which one it was, but they say she was world renowned because she only took 4 baths a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some crazy shit, bro. Like that's how you know, bro. They ain't never been shit. And look at the picture, bro. Like this is important right here. This L shape, you're gonna see this a lot on the murals. You're gonna see this 90-degree angle, and it's gonna be like an upside down L. you know what I'm saying, or half a square. You're gonna see that amongst the art everywhere. Because we were masters at geometry, we were masters at arithmetic. I'm not just gonna say geometry. We created arithmetic, man. We created the zero. So when you hear these ignorant niggas saying that your ancestors didn't have a circle, how you not gonna have a circle if you created the zero, bro? It makes no sense. The
Yeah, and they
rest of the
try to give
world,
credit to the Moors on that.
yeah, that's stupid. The rest of the world was counting on 9 fingers. So to get to 20, you got to count nine twice. To get to 18, then you got to add one more hand. We counting to 20 instant because we have a 20-point counting system. So our first 20 numbers, like you can do it with the like it's called a syllabary. See, like writing today is basic. A letter system is basic. A syllabary at any time can go 5 different ways. One 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 hieroglyph. And that's what I'm working on. That's what I study. It's very complicated, but we understand it. You know, I can count up to the thousands right now in mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm understanding what the syllabary represents. Then we have um our phonic. We have I guess what you would call phonic language. You know, verbal, but everything is on hieroglyph. All these are hieroglyphs. The shit ain't basic, man. The shit was done very long time ago. And once again, like I said, notice the queens. And notice you're always gonna have a as above, so below theme. All the pictures are gonna be an as above, so below theme. All of them. You know what I'm saying? And as above, so below can go many ways as well. See how he's making his peace sign, this mercy sign, making the same sign. So is the sister. If you could tell. Hold on, my bad. Went the wrong way. If you could tell, it's the okay with the 3 fingers. That's an ancient sign.
Yeah, but they turned it into a white supremacist sign. The
Exactly. That's
okay,
what they do.
they
Because
turned
they
it into a white supremacist sign to where now you're trying to ban it to where you can't use the okay sign because when you use the okay sign, like prime example, the previous president used it all the time, and they were trying to make it to say he was talking to the white supremacists when he was using it. In actuality, that was way back then from our ancestors. That's me overstanding the fact that y'all was miseducated on hand signals.
hold on, let me get into the chat. I agree, bro. Like, hold on, I'm gonna read some of the chat in a second. Like, like I said, for instance, he's begging for his life. You know what I'm saying? This is the same picture earlier. It's just a different depiction. But see, all these cats, they bleeding. He got his locks pulled out. And he's doing it too. If you can see in the very bottom corner, he's making the same sign. They're begging for mercy, peace, ancient sign, man. We developed sign language. There's nothing in the world outside of colonization and debauchery, and we didn't do that crazy shit. But outside of that, it's nothing that we didn't create, man. We've been here that long. All the
Please hit
things
the like buttons. If you're in the chat, you just come into the chat, listening to Chief Real Rap and Indigenous Warrior 504 and Peanut Nola 504. Please, if you don't like the video, you can press a dislike. If you coming in the video and you like the video, please hit the like button, please.
exactly like because all right, like First Lady said, use a lot in the music industry. That's because you have a right and a left side knowledge, just like you have positive and negative. Like you have the pH scale, positive numbers, a neutral point, and you have negative numbers, neutral point, positive numbers. As above, so below. Once again, I said that you're gonna see that theme every day in everyday life. As above, so below. So when you have a right and a left side, you know what I'm saying? They use their signs for their energy source. You know what I'm saying? Our signs are our signs. Like the brother Chief Fleming has said earlier, we had chiefdoms. Facts. Where you think kingdom comes from? It comes from chiefdom first. You know what I'm saying? Uh, somebody else was saying something. I want to try to catch everybody. Willie Harris said Stinky Queen. Fact,
Shout
she's
out Miss Wise,
Real
T
Talk TV
Tribe.
said would love for you to do a show or language and terms. I think terms can be reused and the meanings can be changed. Facts. I'll do that offline. I won't do that online because I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? So in learning, you come to roadblocks. You come to, you know what I'm saying, different things like that where you may be on to something and you may need a mentor or someone that's more skilled or more experienced to help guide you. And I don't want to guide if I'm not an expert in the realm. But I agree with you though. I mean, y'all more than welcome to get at me offline. That's my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Y'all more than welcome to get at me, get at Chief Peanut. And like I said, we could definitely build, man. I'm all about learning. I'm all about learning. All right, for sure, for sure. Hey, yeah, you said that was for you, bro. But like not to get too far off topic, man. The reason, like I said, why I wanted to show these people is to show you that nothing new is
Real Talk TV. When you get a chance, we gonna get that interview. Go ahead, brother.
like nothing new is under the sun. So with this left and right side energy, right, yin and yang, you know what I'm saying? However you want to look at it, as above, so below. The reason why, like I said, they use those hand signs is because they're trying to vibrate as well. Not trying, they're vibrating. They're vibrating on a different plane. They're vibrating on a different energy, but they're vibrating. You know what I'm saying? And they try to use the ancient knowledge of what we taught the rest of the world to their benefit. Like for instance, all these creatures that you see on top even looks like a cross right here. You know what I'm saying? Which once again, this is going to predate anything that comes out of Christianity, but that low key do look like a little cross. But it could just be how the dots are set up in a salon. But check
Yeah.
this out. All these are animals on top of the ancestors. So this is some type of some type of it's that
Ritual,
it's
ritual.
yeah, it's that mammal. It look like a nutria. It's that mammal that swim in water. This is like a tortoise. This I can't tell. It might be like an octopus, and this is like that bird. Uh, peacock. It looks similar like to a peacock, and then they have the leopard print. These are all animals that they either domesticated or they overcame because they were masters of their existence. They were the masters of their universe. That's why they would wear the animal skin to show that they conquered the animal. Right here, this is what I was telling you about. This is ancient. This is jade. That's a mask. Like how niggas today, they'll have like chains and pieces on the chain. All of them are wearing this. They're all wearing jade. This ancestor got jade. They got jade in the spear. They wearing jade on the neck. You know what I'm saying? They got big diamond earrings. They have locks. You know what I'm saying? Very long locks. He got a goatee. You know what I'm saying? These are your ancestors, man. And that jade,
Pawn their locks.
what they would do is sometimes the artist would take an image of the actual person and they wouldn't wear the mask. They would wear it around the neck. They wouldn't actually wear the mask. The
Mo
mask
better.
was to be worn. So sometimes when you see pictures of the ancestors with masks, people assume that they wore these. As you can tell, the murals tell you what they did. It's some hieroglyphics right here, but it got cut off. But the murals and the hieroglyphs tell you who these people are by name. They tell you what the scenario was of what was going on because this was a real life event. It's not just a picture or a drawing. This is real life. This is history. Everything in this mural means something. You know what I'm saying? Like the dot in the arithmetic, a dot can be one or it can be five, depending on how it is. Like if you say like you had like sometimes we would deal with shells. We have a shell right here, and we'd have two dots. That would signify five. You know what I'm saying? Each dot would be five, or it could be one. When you have a solid line, like a solid bar line, that signifies, I believe that signifies one, everything on top of it. No, pardon me, it could signify five, but if it's just a solid line with the dots on top, it could signify one. If it's by itself, it signify five. When you get four, that's how you get 20. Five solid black lines. I could Google it right quick, but five solid black lines with that's how you would get the 20 count system. 5 times 4 is 20. So all these dots represent something. I said to say all these dots, they're strategic. They represent a number. You know what I'm saying? And like you even have the what they use today in the music industry too, the painted checkerboard. On the ancestor, he's got the painted checkerboard. They use that in the music industry all the time. He's got the painted checkerboard. Once again, nothing today is new under the sun. They got all this from so-called black people, your ancestors, American Aborigine, man. These are
Could
the
you
Mayans.
also bring up the Fleur de Lis and what we
Yeah, I got
made
you.
of the Fleur de Lis? Could you bring that up, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. If not,
Shout
just
out
Google.
to I think
Right.
that's ministries of spiritual of war ages. Shout out
Hey,
to you.
check this out. If I was to put the sound on, and if this was like an African,
Golden Moon.
he would try to teach you that these people are African. But this is all in the Americas right here. All of it. These are all Americans. You know what I'm saying? All these are Americans, man. This is South America. It's outside of Colombia. It's in Colombia. These are all these are all our ancestors, man. These are our people. And they dark. They dark colored. But you can still see that red tint in them. All right, they keep switching the video up and down. But you can see that red tint. These are your cousins in South America. But if this was the History Channel Palenque, if this was the History Channel, they would try to tell you that that was Africa. They try to tell you these people dancing right here are Africans, not Africans. That's your direct descendants, direct cousins, right there in Palenque. I'm gonna get to that Fleur de Lis, man. Let me see.
While he's doing that, I want you guys to subscribe to Chief Real Rap, okay, on YouTube. Please subscribe to his channel, Chief Real Rap. We got Southwind in the house.
Salute, salute,
Copper Color, TY.
salute. So this is the this is some of the
Guys,
ancient
you're welcome.
ancestors. It's some of the ancient ancestors. This is syllabary. It's one of the syllabaries right here. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the syllabaries. Now I haven't studied the Olmec syllabary. I've been rocking with the Mayan syllabary. But this what Cheap Peanut was asking about right here. So let me zoom in. It's a Fleur de Lis. It's thousands of years ago, bro. How old? I have no idea. This is thousands of years ago, man. You can see it comes from the maize. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the places that it comes from. Now, Peanut had gave me some information where basically the Fleur de Lis is only indigenous to Louisiana, and it comes in multiple colors. But the Olmec, that's how you know the Olmec was in Louisiana. Because if it's only indigenous in Louisiana today, you can only really find it growing here. That means your ancestors were in Louisiana. When you look at a map, watch, if I was to pull the map up of the Americas, you'll see the area that they live, Veracruz, I believe Palenque, and one other area. Man, I always forget that third area. It's direct. Louisiana is directly above that. The only thing that separates what would have been us and them is the Gulf of Mexico, and that's how you know we had trade routes all through the Americas because this is corn is one of our main substances that we use. Now we ate everything. Don't get it twisted. We ate fruits. We ate other vegetables. You know what I'm saying? We had something known as watch. I always spell it wrong, but it's chiampas. Watch. It was a mobile garden, a floating garden. That's how you say it. I always say it wrong. I'm still working on the dialect. Chinampas. All right. Watch. Let me zoom out. So this is still
Michael
today
Brown. Shout out to Michael Brown, Charles Johnson. I'm sorry, and Nigel Welch.
for sure. In Louisiana, people still do this today. You know what I'm saying? This is whitewash. See, they got them fake ass Native Americans and shit. They ain't never did shit. But this is what your ancient ancestors developed, which is known as Chinampas, if I'm saying it properly, correctly. And we still have the same technology today in Louisiana, all throughout the Gulf regions, anywhere that develops anywhere that develops like farm raised, like shrimp, crawfish, different fish families, fish groups, but you also have plants. And what they used to do is they would develop mulch and other forms of earth, and it would pack that shit and it would float and they would go through, and as they're developing it, they would they would pick out a portion of it. So as they would basically dig holes through the chinampas, the roots that they would the roots of different plants that they would crop or that they would grow, the roots would hit the water. So all this is like once you develop it, it's self-sustaining. You don't have to water the garden anymore. It waters itself because the roots are in direct water. And this is before pollutants. It's before all this. When the earth was natural. And this is how you were able to build civilizations fast. That's how you go from 50,000 to a million in less than 50 years or less than 100 years and have millions. You know what I'm saying? This is how they did it. It's one of the ways. It's how you spread out as well. Everybody don't have to live on top of each other. We not Romans. We not them niggas in Europe living on top of each other and filth. No, we spread out. This is ancient knowledge that through the murals and through studying and you know what I'm saying, having a willing thirst for knowledge, you'll learn this. Cause it's time for us to stop learning this Africa bullshit, stop learning shit about Europe. It won't help you. But see, you can take this development when y'all start getting the land that y'all want, and you can do this. You can flood the land. You can flood a parcel of your land. Purify your water. You know what I'm saying? As my man would say through the Berkeley system, man. Purify your water, and you can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my man, like we do it on a small. I don't plant right now, but I got a little parcel of land. You know what I'm saying? We plan on doing
Hey,
this.
that's my department.
Facts, man. So all this knowledge is intertwined, man. It's great to know about what the ancestors did in the past, but if we don't apply the knowledge, what good is it learning? We have to apply this knowledge, man. So this is another picture, right? Now this look like I don't know, it could be Asia or some shit, but that's how our culture spread all throughout the world. We do this today. You can come to my house, go about 10 minutes from my house, 5 10 minutes. You'll see little you'll see little floating ponds, just like you'll see the pond, and you'll see whatever it is that they growing in the middle. Why? Because this is all dirt. They build it up. They plant on top. Started this right here in the
So
Americas.
if somebody got a Florida leaf in their house or in their garden or whatever, you and I know they've been to New Orleans.
It comes from the culture. You know what I'm saying? It comes from our culture in New Orleans. Let's go back to
Yeah,
it.
they've been to New Orleans. That's the only place you're gonna be able to get it from. And they don't just come in one color.
Nah, come in all colors, man.
Yeah, they're multiple different color flowers.
That would make them unique.
Yeah, and I had to sit back and think about when I had a bill with Chief Real Rep. We got a great understanding that that was one of our trades. We were to greet people. Remember,
Facts.
y'all, this bill is it's about Messy Jesse. and we are building and going. And this is a teaching session by Chief Real Rap on who we really are. Now we're talking. When I started this program off, and remember, we are talking about how Messy Jesse in 1988 sold our rights, without our knowledge. So we should hold him and several others accountable. So that's what the message is today. For those who just coming in, please hit the like buttons. Also share the video.
You see why you've been reclassified so many times? Because they don't want you to get your hands on this kind of information.
Say it again, 504. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right, bro. Because if you get a hold to this information, our people get the knowledge of who they are, then we're gonna stop killing each other. We're gonna realize that we have something to believe in. Our people don't feel a part of anything because they've been manipulated into believing that they're nothing. And there's no disrespect to Africans, but Africans have not came back and got your ass. All these years of calling you so-called Africans, when they got the boat to come back and got your ass.
Hey, facts, facts. Hey, that's why I show all that knowledge, man, from like 1800s all the way to the ancient times to show you the greatness, man, of what you always been. Period. And it's the
So,
thing. If you was from Africa, bro, like if I was African, I would be ashamed, right? Because if I was to believe the lie that they taught me, my ancestors never can get me. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody
Key Graham in the house.
that's like somebody in the foster foster child in that situation, man, they gonna lose hope. And by the time they
True.
do, by the time they do see their family, they don't even want to be part of their family no more. It's like, bro, like you had 18, 20 some years to come see me, and you just making that trip, or you saw me one time and you never came back. That's like that old story.
and the first thing they say to their mom or their daddy when they go pick them up from the foster care, why you didn't fight for me?
Yeah, facts.
Stop. Why y'all gotta bring it up like that, man?
No,
Y'all
that's
got
hey,
me in
Hey,
tears,
it's
man. Y'all
gotta
got
hit
tears
home.
coming
Look,
out
bro.
my eyes.
It,
Still waiting
it's
on their daddy, man. What's wrong with y'all?
Hey,
You
look,
hear
bro.
me?
It's like the Negroes. It's like the Negroes, man, that said, "Hey, I'll be back. I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to get a loaf of bread." You know what
and
I'm saying?
never come back.
Nigga took the money off the dresser and never came back. Didn't even leave mama with no money on the dresser, man. You know what I'm
Because
saying? You gotta hit it
what
home
made
like
me
that.
and what made me start questioning this so-called slavery story, because you found King Tut, you found his mama, you found all these great people, our ancestors, but you can't find a slave ship. Not one.
That's what I'm saying.
Not one,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying,
You could
bro.
go digging and find anything you want to find, but you can't prove to me about no slave ship. You can't show me not one. But then me and DP, we got information and videos of people who was already here and stated they was here and they shipped them from here to Libya.
Hey, look, bro. Let me say one more thing. Hey, look, to Najir Welch said Africans and Caucasian people is black people, one with the melanin, one without it. It's a thing. When you look up the term black, one of the terms means pale. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, you got to rock with the etymology, man. You got to get the origin of the word. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get back to this messy Jesse shit in a second. Salute to Empress Hover, man. Copper Empress Hover, salute. Um, it's the thing though on this right quick before we get back to messy, man. Like I said, with the black term, it means to be pale, man. It also means to practice necromancy. Like it means to be dead, like the walking and talking dead. You know what I'm saying? We already gave it the definition of what a Slav is. The so-called white boy. Pale face, he a Slav. Straight up. That's what they are. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I'm saying? They Slavs, bro. And that's the whole thing. If I was to pull up the article from Alex Haley, another coon ass Negro, it'll tell you that he got sued for $650,000 in 78. I think believe it happened in 76, pardon me. He got sued for 650 grand by a white boy named Harold Corlander who wrote the book The African. You know what I'm saying? The white boy wrote the book The African because he was telling his family history. You know what I'm saying? And Alex Haley stole it verbatim, 100%. It was the biggest, plagiarism case at the time in the so-called country, man, in the US system.
Shout out to Mr. Dog Fly Brother. Shout out to Rainstorm. Shout out to
Yeah,
Stephen
rainstorm
Reed
still.
Red Clay. Shout out to the Empress Harbor. If I didn't catch your name, Sister Soul. Okay.
Said drop the link.
All right.
Salute to all the lineage, man. Dark Fly
Uh,
brother,
Indigenous Warrior.
Rainstorm,
Could you drop the link, brother?
Red Clay. Salute. I see y'all.
Mr. Dog Fly Brother.
Man, look, I'll
Sean,
pull that
Sean,
too. Hey, look,
Sean in the house.
I'm gonna come back to that roots, man. Let me read this. Let me get Messy Jesse out the way because that's the topic. Let me get Messy out the way. Let me get Messy Jesse out the way. This is from December. So
Come
it's
to customs
Christmas.
too.
This Christmas, 1988. It's from the Chicago Tribune. All right, let's get it. He said, let me see if I can zoom in on it so y'all can see it. All right, this coon ass nigga said, "Quote: Blacks is no longer beautiful as a label for black people in this country," says Jesse Jackson. Quote: African American is more appropriate. Let's stop right there. How the fuck is African American more appropriate when that's two separate land masses and Africa ain't the name? It's barbarian, number one. So how you gonna take some fake shit, mix it with some real shit, and present it? It's bullshit. You can't have two sets of people be one. It makes no sense. And everybody knows it, but unfortunately, the masses of some of our people. It makes no sense, bro. Is it's retarded. Continue to read. He said, quote, just as we were called color, but we're not that. And then Negro, but not that. Nigga, we ain't African American. But to be called black is just as baseless. Jackson said, just as there are Armenians American, Jewish Americans, Arab Americans, Italian Americans. See, we not that though, and we not them. And at the end of the day, these people, they don't complain about number one, having status changes like how we do. You know what I'm saying? They accept their socio-political construct. Let's look at that right quick. We're gonna come right back. Look at what a socio-political construct is.
You cannot, I say this all the time, bro. You cannot be from two continents at one time. That's a fact. You cannot be. It's either or.
Well, brother, they lied about us being a continent. They call us a country, but don't include South America and Canada.
I
Check this out. It says
ain't for your
now this is
opinions today,
questions
bro.
that people ask, right? So it's saying social, but I'm gonna get the direct socio. But anyway, a social construct is something that exists not in object reality, but as a result of human interaction. It exists because humans agree that it exists. Let's get a better one. Socio-political. The definition of socio-political is something that involves both social and political factors. An example of something socio-political is the issue of environmental conservation. I don't care about that, which is influence. All right, I need to get a deeper definition. We're gonna catch it. That's a little closer. Strong social constructs rely on human perspective and knowledge that does not just exist, but rather constructed by society. We getting there. Basically, it's one of these definitions that tell you it was created strictly from someone's head, out of somebody's head. Just like Darwinism, just like the Big Bang Theory, you know what I'm saying? Just like, uh, man, look, I go on, bro. Evolution. You know? Only difference with the Big Bang, they get that shit from us, but they bastardize to teach. You know what I'm saying? And I'll talk about that another day. But the whole thing is this: these people accept all these socio political constructs. We don't. I just read, or if I didn't read it, I said it 22 years ago. You know, like right here in this time frame, 22 years prior to 88, we were colored or Negro, whichever one it was. You know, because we've been changed just in the oldest person here, maybe in a 50s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe early 60s. You've seen it change 3 times, possibly 4 times, going in your lifetime, whether you recollect or not, going from colored, Negro, black, African American. It's bullshit. Why? It's to cause confusion.
Oh, and don't
Just like
forget
how
when they and don't forget to try to use that term Afro American too.
Yeah,
facts, bro.
they try to use black, Afro, and they try to use African. So they have been trying to confuse our brain cells.
That's all this is. That's
Hairline balls, hardline
that's
balls in the house.
That's all this is. All this, the first one, two, three, 4 lines is pure confusion. I'll read it again. Blacks is no longer beautiful as a label for black people in this country, says Jesse Jackson. African American, quote, is more appropriate, allegedly. Quote, just as we were called colored, but we're not that, and then Negro, but we're not that, to be called black, it's just as baseless, and so is African American, Negro. So is that. It's just as baseless because it came
Then
from the figment of someone's imagination. It wasn't even created.
now trying to
Say it again, bro.
I think we got sister soul or something. Somebody we got a new somebody new on the panel, so you guys can speak for a couple of seconds before Chief Real Rap
Yeah, go
preside.
ahead. Go
look
ahead.
before what I was saying was now that Mr. Justice sick, do y'all feel any sympathy for him? Look what he caused us. Look what he done to us. I don't get
I
no
don't feel no
sympathy. That's
pity,
why
dog.
I don't feel no thank you. I don't feel no pity for him. Then you got Stevie Wonder talking about he moving back to Ghana permanently. What the hell you talking about, man?
Well, Stevie Wonder can't see anyway. Oh, Sister Soul.
You stupid, bro.
That's
Thank you,
facts.
brother.
Right. I wasn't trying to say, I was trying to laugh. But the way he said it, though.
That's like the blind leading the blind for real. Literally blind leading the
Exactly.
blind.
He ain't gonna know if he ain't Ghana.
Go ahead, Sister Soul.
Yes, brother. Thanks for the welcome me to the panel today. I appreciate you guys. I just want to chime in on what you're saying. It's so crazy. I be talking about all these different things. Y'all hitting on everything that I think is important that we be overlooking. I'm gonna start with the first thing, with the lies about the land in general. You know, with the Africa, this country that. It's not just, if y'all notice, it's not just the renaming of us. Everything they're doing with the land itself, they've also renamed. Everything's been renamed, all these different continents, and this and that. Africa is the newest name for what Africa is now. All these different even over here, we have like Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. Now it's the Americas. Everything's been changed because all it does is derive more brainwashing or witchcrafting spells that these people cast over the nation so that we're blinded to truth and reality. The falsehoods of things that they put in our mind, it comes with an indoctrination of so many things. So we have to look at it. When you just said that, brother, about like what's going on with the names, right? So they keep changing. Oh, it's this, we're that, we're that, we're that. They keep giving us a different name because every time they give us a name, it takes us closer to a true reality, is what they notice. They like, oh, we call them this. It makes them look at certain things, but they're looking at what we don't want them to look at. So people start waking up to certain realities and things by these names, and also by figuring out that they have us caught up under these lies. Once we start coming into the information or the truth of what's been going on, they're trying to make another change. So they've started with our Trail of Tears, where they kind of murdered all of our ancestors to give us the truth about what's going on with the lands. So then after that, they indoctrinated all the children with the falsehood of the history books, these lies, everything that they teach us in school. They started from preschool, start indoctrinating us with lies. And this has been going on since there were no ancestors around to teach us and make sure they prepared us with the real reality and tell us about how they murdered us and took the land over. And, we was being kind to these people trying to help them out, and they got greedy, and, the demonic stuff that they did. So in order to cover that stuff up, they have to keep changing things. They have to keep lying. They have to keep rearranging history and historical facts, because with archaeology and the way scientists use and do things now, they're discovering too many facts to show that the information they've been teaching all these years is falsified and lied. So now we're opening up and coming to a great awakening at this time, because all the information is becoming absorbed and everybody's not as brainwashed as they used to be. We're opening up and we're having our ancestors tell us stuff. We're looking at things like, wait a minute, what doesn't make sense? Hold on, we ain't gonna just take it as they said it's the truth and it's the truth. We're gonna look at that truth now. We're not gonna just believe everything they say. They weren't expecting these things. So now a lot of the lies that they've used to conflict us and have us confused and brainwashed with their stories, the lies are being exposed. So they're trying to cover up other things, so we're focused on certain things and not seeing what's being discovered in front of us. So they can continue to keep pushing the narrative of whatever they want it to be. They can keep pushing us into the deceptions that they want to put into us, including indoctrinating us with their food, all the consumption of these different chemicals and things that we have that they're forcing on us. We don't even have natural food now. Almost everything is GMO. So these chemicals are conflicting with natural body. So they're working on us from the inside out. They're messing with the air, tampering with the water. The like I said, the history, all the information, all these things continue to brainwash us, because these chemicals create imbalances in our brain where we can't even think or function correctly, where we're seeing clear thought and we're like, is this right? With the imbalance in the brain from our acids and things due to these GMOs and these certain chemicals we put in our body, it's actually making it where if you get a crack of information, you're confused still, even if your mind is telling you this is the fact, this is the truth. The concise dissonance is off in our brains, and they planned all this. They know what they're doing, So they've been doing this to us all along. So we are the ones that are coming aware and awaken. It's like the more we expose them, the more they try to bring something else to the forefront. And when it comes to I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, brother. I'm gonna try to be quick. When it comes to us,
You better keep it going.
okay, thank you,
Oh,
brother.
wait.
I always feel
You
like
better
that
go
with the
ahead
roots.
on.
Yes, brother. And when it comes to the roots thing, I gotta hit on that, brother.
Yeah,
That roots thing.
I was just gonna tell her slow down a little bit, and you keep just slow down a little bit and take your time so we can all catch you.
Oh, yes,
Shout
brother.
out to
Thank you.
Chief this Sun Owl.
Yeah, shout out to the chief and son out.
Yes, shout out to Chief. Yes, sir. So basically, with the roots thing, right? I'm sitting here listening with this Alex Haley with his treacherous behind. He did that intentionally because it brought a lot of attention, right? And it was a big old thing. It was talked about because this actual factual story he took from somebody else. This is definitely actual facts. That was part of a play. What we don't understand is all these people are playing a role. The actors, all these singers, the government, they're all together. They like all have a book that they follow. They all got a role. They're doing certain things. They implement certain things into our brain cavities with the music. They implement certain things into our brain cavities with the telekinesis through television, the news, the TV, everything that we're pulling in. This information we pull in is forcing our brain to believe that it's factual, because this is all we see. This is all we know. This is all we learn. These things they know because they're using it against us due to quantum effects. When it comes to our mind and our brain, there's waveform information that comes into our brain on every second of the day. It's a human, it's just naturally that happens with us biologically. So as we're pulling in our senses, all of our five senses are pulling in about 10 million bits of information each second. Our brain can only decipher 0.001% of that information. So they're putting all this fake information. We're reading it, we're seeing it, we're hearing it, we're eating it, we're consuming all the things we consume. This all comes into and it recollects through our senses with our brain form. Our waveform actually creates the brain form information to create the reality that we see. So they know this stuff. So this is how they're using these things against us. They're creating false realities by putting fake information into our heads, and we have to try to decipher what's real, what's not. Our brain is already working at deciphering 10 million bits of information. So when we got that 0.001, we're already trying to decipher that bit each second. So our brain is getting confused, and it's crazy, brother. We really have to like how can you say like disconnect or regenerate our brain from all the history we've learned, everything they told us, and rebrand our history from what we know. I know my grandmother always told me she was an Indian. She told me she was from Little Rock, Arkansas. She told me her family worked, they worked on the farm. She never mentioned nothing about a slave. I never even heard the word slave. I'm gonna be quite honest. Till when I was in church and they research things and they'd be the old slave obey a master. And I'm like, slave obey a master. I never heard that stuff. When the movie Roots came out, brother, I swear, I came from school and they kept talking about Roots, Roots, this movie Roots. It was a big thing. They was talking about advertising it. And I'm like, what's this about? So of course everybody wanted to see it. When we started watching that thing, I'm looking like, this can't be real. As a kid, and I was about, I don't even remember how old. I was very young though. I was maybe 12, 13 or something, maybe 11. And I'm like, this isn't real. My mind told me this is not real. It just didn't look real. It seemed fake. They were saying it was a true story. This is what happened. I understood that it was a movie they were acting out, but it still did not make sense to me that any of that stuff happened. And then when I read it, I'm looking like, okay, African. I'm like, wait a minute. I've heard about Africa. This is me as a child. I'm just being honest. I'm like, I've heard about Africa, but I don't know nothing about no Africa. So I confirmed to my grandmother, no, we ain't come from no Africa. I don't know nothing about them slaves or what they're talking about. That was that. So she told about stories that happened with her in her childhood here in the Americas, where she's always been, where all my ancestors always have been. And nothing about Africa was ever in mention of that. And when the movie Roots came out, what it did was create division, another part of their plan, the black and white thing. It created a division so that people would be fighting and forced to face or look at racism versus looking at reality. They have us focusing on racism instead of focusing on the reality of what it is. There's no racism there because you guys don't have authority over us. You guys don't have any type of power over us. So how could there be a racism and a division that puts you over us? That's infactual. That's a lie. That's false. So that's BS. So when we think of it that way, we have to start thinking about, so what happened? They took some of our people, took them back over there, came back here. They decided to let's make this birth certificate system. Let's make this social security system. When we bring these people over here, we're going to put down that they're the Indians, that they're the indigenous people, but what they are indentured slaves that have come from other continents where they owed money. So now they're coming to work off their rates of whatever they owed. They're bringing them here. They come here to work off what they do, and then they say, "Oh, now you guys can have land." They gave them our land, took our people, and sending some of them back to Africa so they can start the history of believing that we are from the Africas. A lot more with that, brother, but I want to stop there because I don't want to talk too much on it. But yes, brother, this whole deception of us being slaves has been a lie since they started. That Roots was a reinforcement. The television programs, when they started making TV, the telekinesis is a lie of manipulation to the brain wave mapping. It's just so much of it, brother. We just got to really look at everything these evil people have been doing against us to bring us down because we're so much stronger than that. And obviously, we're proving it because we see all the lies.
I'll tell you this. When this supposed to be the last week of so-called Black History Month, and you cutting it up. That's what teaching is all about. And bravo to you, sister. Bravo to you, because this is what teaching you and Chief Real Rap are cutting up today. I mean, I'm giving y'all a hand clap and a praise. You heard me? Because I'm telling you, there's somebody listening. There's somebody out here that's in the bushes who did not know where they come from. The manipulation It's terrible. Jesse has messed up, and I'll say I'm picking on Messy Jesse, and he's in a situation where the man is on his deathbed, and why am I doing this? Hell with Jesse, because he didn't think about what he was doing to his people. Money and power is the rule to all evil. And I want to sit here and thank y'all because I'm telling you, there's somebody who's in the bushes, so-called African, who still believe he from Zamunda, but y'all waking him up. Y'all waking him up. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, hey, peace to the God. Peace to the God. Like let me just say this right quick because I'm gonna acknowledge all the uh all the gods that are the matriarch, you know what I'm saying? It don't come out the same when I build as when they build. That's just a fact, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is because that's 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 our mothers. The women here are our mothers, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, we don't drink milk, right? We don't drink cow milk. But when your mother, you know, even in development of the womb, she's feeding you. She's giving you knowledge. That's why y'all all respect it. That's why we have the phenomena of Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? For me, we say Momo.
Miss
You know what I'm saying?
Pebbles.
That's our grandma, and that's why you had that phenomena. It's not really a phenomenon. It's just culture. It's our culture. Our culture is to be taught by the woman because she is God. I'm not looking for no hand claps. I'm not looking for no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing this to stroke no egos. This is just fact. And I wasn't a believer of this for a long time. But the woman is God. And how is that? Remember when I said thing about the Big Bang? Let's get into that because I was waiting for the proper opportunity to explain that. I'm not gonna get in depth, but basically, man, when the seed leaves from the male, you know what I'm saying, and it goes to develop the egg, that's energy. It's an explosion. Why? Because it's energy being developed. You have what people say your protons, neutrons, electrons, 666, as above, so below. They'll tell you, I'm not a master at this, I have basic knowledge, but they say in the womb we're all females. Y'all understand how the X and Y chromosome work? We're all females in the womb. I believe the first trimester, up until the first trimester for some people. But the point is, the woman is God because that's where you get your start. That's who created life. That's where civilizations come through and out of. Not to make the man deficient or irrelevant. He's not. But the woman is God, bro. Period. That's
But
why
not to
we have
cut you
this.
off, not to
And I
cut
want
you
to
off.
tap that.
Me and Chief Peter had this conversation. What today is? Like Monday, we had this conversation. We were just discussing how the female is the god, and we were talking about how science and all this. We just had the same conversation Monday, and that's why I respect Chief Sun Out and a lot of elder women because not only did they have to get to their age, they have so much wisdom and knowledge to pass down to us. It's up to us to absorb the knowledge that they've given us. You see what I'm saying? And as time goes, the engine of the knowledge they've given us, we have to pass that down to our daughters and our sons. You see, I
Hey,
tell
check this
everybody,
out.
respect
Check
your
this out.
On
elders.
Hey, check this out. I was talking to an ancestor the other day, and it was a video I was watching. But I talked to an ancestor. We call him Big Chief Nottoway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get to what Chief Fleming is saying on the balance. I'm gonna hit that next. But I always want to give credit to the woman, to our God. It's the thing. In the video, the ancestor he owned a store and he was being asked, "Do you believe in God?" He said, "I don't know what your God is. I don't know who you're referring to, but the first God and the only God I know is my mother." You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like the balance, right? So no child can, in my opinion, be balanced without the mother and the father. Period. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
oh, hold up. Breaking news. One second. Happy birthday to my son, my oldest son. If you're listening, I love you, son.
Happy born day.
21 years old.
Happy born day. But guess what though? It's really his mother's born day. You know what I'm saying? That's see, in our culture, bro, it goes to the mother. Chief Son, I will tell you that. Yeah, that's the day you born, but the honor goes to your mother, bro. Once again, I'm glad you said that. Salute to your son, but salute to your chief, because that's her born day, because that's the day that she brought forth life. Appreciate you doing that, bro.
Hey, I appreciate my wife every day. Every time
Facts,
my wife, my mother, all my ancestors that are females. But I
facts.
appreciate mine every day. It's not a
But that's how
particular
that
day
works,
for me.
though. That's how that works. Now back to the balance, right quick, because I don't want to be long winded too, because I want the sister to come back on this so we can address this root shit. But I want to be positive right quick first. So with the balance, I believe no child can be their highest self or reach their maximum potential without both parents. I'm a firm believer in that. You know what I'm saying? But what I was gonna say with the ancestor and the store owner, being a store owner, and my other ancestor, Big Chief Nottaway, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you that they had strong fathers as well, but they'll also tell you that the purpose of the man, and I believe this full heartedly what I'm about to say, the purpose of the man, you know what I'm saying, is to bring the woman back to where she needs to be. Not all women start at the same plateau. Some are higher than others, man. That's why I always make a difference between women and females, men and males. You know what I'm saying? But that's our job, you know what I'm saying, is to get them back to their greatness, because once they're vibrating at their highest level, that's when we come into the picture. You know what I'm saying? That's when basically when they're vibrating, like put it like this, something that everybody can understand. Nobody brings the so-called family, the lineage. Nobody brings the lineage together like a woman. Period. But nobody gives the woman peace like a man in his right mind. When his energy is proper, when his spirit is vibrating toward purity, he's not in his base. That's how the balance fully comes together. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't, like, we are the protector of the woman, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? But the woman is our nurturer. She's our guide. She's our teacher. That's why I say when a woman comes up here that's vibrating properly, we all love it because we get energy from that because that's our sun. None of y'all have ever seen the sun take a day off. Nobody.
Facts.
We've never seen the sun take a day off, but we all seen Jesus take days off. Where this nigga at? During COVID, where this nigga at? The sun ain't never took a day off, and the sun is our mother, man, period.
Mm.
Because they say energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So once they transition, they're still here. You live through them.
They still got
You're
you
a
believing in white
physical
Jesus, brother.
representation.
They still thinking white Jesus gonna come back and get you.
Man,
Have
fuck white
mercy.
Jesus.
It's that,
Fuck
or if
Sky
they
Daddy
don't know
too.
that. Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. I done made my point.
I don't no, brother. Your points were so freaking relevant, and you're so absolutely correct. When it comes to that, that's our organ energy, everything you're talking about, and that's what when people talk about the makerba or the makarba, they pronounce it differently. But that is that specific energy. It's like a very high, elevated state of energy, and what it does, it takes people to a certain enlightenment or a spiritual enlightenment within. And what happens is, it's funny. What happens is this is the Christos. The Christos spirit is literally a energy that we create within our body, right? A chemical reaction when we get certain information, and like you just said, oh, when the sisters speak, we feel a connection, and we get excited because it's what we feel, and blah blah blah. That is literally what's happening. You get enlightenment or you get information that actually awakens you. Like, hey, your mind says, what is that? This information is resonating with my spirit. This information is resonating with my soul. I feel this to be true. I feel this to be accurate. I need to look into this. All these things, right? That is the awakening within us, right? When we get that awakening, what happens is our actual cells are like vibrating. They're excited. You know how we get excited about something? So what happens is the cells start to be excited. As the cells start to be excited, it makes our blood go to like a higher intensity level. So it'll start vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. When it does that, it creates a crystallization in the brain. When the crystallization forms, right, it processes a certain gas after the crystallization. This is where we get what people say our aura or the torus field around our body. This is our super protecting, you know what I'm saying? This is what shields us from any enemies. You know, this is some real stuff. This is our spirit nature. So when this happens, that's when we're having that Oregon energy at its heightened level. And when you said something about the sperm in that cell, that's another thing. It does the same exact thing. The Makerba is at its heightened. There are actual religions where people have sex, right? And they once they get to where they get ready to have that orgasm, they stop and they hold it there because there's a certain energy that's released within them and they get a spiritual enlightenment from it. There's so many things that we are not aware of because they keep us focused and looking at certain things that aren't important or relevant in this life that we don't have time to focus on the things that would be I guess specific to helping us in our life or building us or building our spirit. They have us so focused on the physical things that go on in this life, which are not the relevant things. The reason they focus it on it is because of the waveform. They want to be able to control it. Because if they can control us by keeping us focused on all these physical things, we don't have time to worry about our spirit being enlightened, awakening, ascending away from this shit they got us. I'm sorry, brother. Excuse me for saying it. Away from this stuff that they got us caught up in. You know what I'm saying? So we're trapped in the brainwave frequency of things that they're putting out for us, and then we get caught up in that physical stuff, and it keeps us away from actually growing or enlightening our spirit, so that our spirit is getting to the height that it needs to be, where we see things more clearly. Because at that point, we're that gas has actually opened up things. This is where people talk about the pineal gland or having their third eye enlightened or awakened. These things actually happen to us, and we're able to see things on a whole different level. I don't want to talk too much about that, brother, but I just want to say
Nah,
that.
nah,
That
I gotta address that because I know Peanut will go in. This the thing. I agree with everything you said, and this the thing. When Peanut brought up the example earlier of the brother getting beat up in the early '90s, right? Um,
Rodney King, brother, I'm sorry,
Rodney
Rod,
I wasn't
King,
done.
Rodney
Rodney
King,
King,
yeah.
I had
Rodney
just jumped
King,
on. Yeah,
Rodney King,
okay.
Rodney King. Appreciate y'all because I was forgetting his name. From that time point, which it never stopped, because we can go all the way back to Emmett Till. We can go back before Emmett Till, but it never stopped. But they publicized it, right? And
Right,
remember, if y'all were old enough, remember the feeling of what you got from that, the anguish of the experience of the trauma that you were
yes,
watching, and then it added more trauma
Mega
when
Evers.
when the facts Mega Evers is another one. But it added more trauma when you saw that the racist pigs, pale faces got off because they switched the trial up. They end up going from LA to like a hick suburb way up north of LA. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, they've never stopped publicizing it, but our people have become desensitized to the beatings and the killings of our own people. Basically, watching our own genocide, we become desensitized until it happens to one of our own directly. Blood, direct. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of us, then we start to
You
feel
know I'm
again.
gonna go in after you.
That's fine.
mm,
Go in. I'm setting it up.
and I'm after you, bro.
Then we start to go in. And it's bullshit because we have a lot of healing to do amongst ourselves. But the point is this: they've never stopped publicizing the murders. Like from another point, 2012, when the young man from Florida died, Trayvon Martin. They played so-called Black Death for like 2, 3 years straight, and then it just stopped. Just one day, it just stopped. They just stopped publicizing. The murders didn't stop because the numbers didn't go down. And I say all that to say this: they do that because they want us to vibrate a negative energy. We're still gonna vibrate. They want the negative energy because they feed off of that. That's why we have these things known as oh, I see them all the time in Memphis. Um it's an energy it's an energy transmitter. They're called oblig oblis. You know what I'm saying? And they're strategically placed all over the country. I'll pull up my Instagram later and show y'all if I remember. But the point is, in every major city, you have an obelisk, and they use our old technology of pyramids and mounds and our grid in order to help them pale faces, drain our energy. Succubuses. That's what these people are. So I'll say all that to say this. That's
Exactly.
why they show all the trauma on TV. That's why the news is garbage. Because they don't care that, like, they don't want you vibrating positive energy. They want you to vibrate, but they want you to vibrate negativity. Why? Because that keeps us separated, keeps us divided, keeps us at each other, like the sister said, over race, over petty shit that doesn't matter. Go ahead, Chi.
Shout out Chick Roots. I just seen Chick Roots come in. But the serious part, I can holler about what Messy Jesse has done to us and every past leader because that's the generational curses. But what I will say this, we got to stop killing each other. And what's going on, we can talk all day long about who we are, what nations we're trying to build, but it's nothing if our children are dead. We got ancestors, well, elders, who are afraid to challenge young folks. They don't know how to teach. I mean, they don't know how to treat females because, unfortunately, they wasn't raised correctly. I want you guys to understand, in order for us to build a nation of people correctly, we have to save our children. And I'm telling you, this will all be for nothing. All this conversation, all the things that we're talking about, we won't have nothing to build from. That's all I gotta say. And I want to get let's get Nigel Welch in here, and I think we got Indigenous Warriors. So go ahead, and Nigel Welch.
Mm. I'm gonna touch with on the race part, on the little race part about the African thing. Cat Williams, remember the one movie where Cat Williams said in the jail scene, he said about the white baby. He said, "Whose goddamn white baby is that? This is your baby. He just light skinned. Hmm. That one might be mine. That one right there, I'm not totally sure. Just because you name him there don't mean he belongs to there. But I don't care what this little baby's name is. That baby is rice skinned, not light skinned. That is a white child and an aborigine of the mountains of Caucasus. That is a Slavic baby, a Viking from Iceland. That baby got 735 as a credit rating right now as an infant. When he said that, I knew right then and there what he meant. I already knew looking back on it. I said, this man literally spilled the whole freaking beans, just hid the detail about the Caucasus part. Because when he said it, it made sense. Then with the culture thing, our culture with our ancestors, we was the first, our culture, here's what a lot of people don't know. Our own people will never understand until they start researching it. Our culture was the very first culture on earth to be created from us and by us. Why do you think why do you think Caucasian people who are the real deal black people in which I nowadays why I call, gee, why them white people act black in their own way because they is black without them realizing because most don't understand because the ones who do understand us, they don't understand on their end that they the black people, we brown. Ari Spears said it best. Just like he said why how it is with Africans, how they treat us like trash, of how much different they treat white people. They'll be like, you know what's messed up? Africans don't like brown people. They treat us like shit. White people, they see y'all, they treat you like family. Like, excuse me, Mr. White Man and Mrs. White Woman. Thank you for bringing us here. Hooray, the white man and the white woman. Soon as they see us, they get an attitude. We be like, how you doing, man? This nigga. What the fuck are we do it like the black man in America? What the fuck are you doing to work? You talk to shit. We be like, you kid, get out of my face, you black motherfucker. Like, who you calling black, motherfucker? I mean, I'm brown, you midnight. Who the fuck is you calling black? I come if you stood against the alley, you would fit the description point of the whole goddamn thing. Who the fuck is you calling black? This shit is unjust. And they got the nerve to call us that. Shoot, talking about we deserve, got the nerve to still tell us to this day. Why don't you go back to Africa? That's your people. We ought to be saying that, you can get the heck off our land, oh, non-melanin Kuta Kintes, Shaka Zulus,
That's right.
Puta Kuntas, Kula Kawale. Hey, we
Hey,
could do
bro.
that. We could direct you right to Shambugu's house.
Hey,
The
bro.
two elephants.
Hey, since you on that point, I just want to know, bro. Did Alex Haley trip and fall and plagiarize Harold Corlander book? Like, how did that shit happen, bro? Yeah, that shit funny, bro. Keep going, keep going. You cooking, keep going.
Yeah, they be trying to. That's been so funny. That makes me laugh every time. It just puts a laugh on my face to how Caucasian people, white people, black people, slash black people, the real black people, make me laugh talking about, yeah, yeah, all this and that, calling us jigaboos and all that whatnot. That makes me laugh. I just sit there like, then they favorite word is the old so-called slave word, nigger. Really? You could call us that. Our people been so indoctrinated to it to thinking that it's really a racist word, but the real origin it's really not a racist word. You basically calling us something that we not of. You're basically describing us of African monarchy when we not of no African monarchy. Do you not? People do. I've even stated this before. The word nigger comes from the word African word negus, black, aka African Africanus monarchy, non-melanated monarchy. That's why they call. Hence, where that word comes from. The two words actually, kings and queens, like you said, like like Chief Nola said. King, and here's the definition. I'll give you the free game definition of king and queen. Here's what they don't understand. The definition of a king is a male thief monarch. A queen is a female thief monarch. People don't want to understand that. I have friends to this day who don't understand the origin of that word. And I be sitting in my head, I'm like, I'm quite frankly sick and tired of my own friends and them calling themselves, they want to be kings and queens. Because it's so personally and honestly funny that either don't understand, don't realize how much you keep saying that word and secondly don't understand the origin of that word. It is not a word. It is not a word of loyalty and royalty. It's of dark Africanus hypocrisy. That's what it
Yeah,
is. You and
they steal
that's
every
why I say
every
it.
every land that they have conquered. They conquer, they steal, and these are African kings. These are European kings. Just go look at it. Every continent, country They steal. So I don't want to be a part of thieves. Call me a chief.
Exactly. I'd rather be a chief. I'd be like, that's my little print. That's my little print.
Shout
That's
out to
like if I
James.
have a daughter. That's like saying if I have a son and a daughter. I got a chief and a chiefess. Prince, princess, chief, chiefess. I would tell them. I would tell my future son, you don't want to be a king. Let me explain to you what that word means. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Even school. Don't even let school tell you. But school will give you the open piece of the truth. Open piece of the truth. You know what I'm saying? 25%. Understand what that word means. And I learned this in U.S. history class when I was in school. King means monarchs who stole and took over other people's land. I learned that. I even learned that in U.S. history class. The same way I learned about it with the Christians, about how Christians took over our land. Same way that kings and queens took over our land. They took over all our lands, all of our actual lands. Russia, they took over Russia, Turkey, Sweden, Portugal. Let's see who else. They got Portugal. You got Italy. Don't get me started about no Italy. Cause they could call themselves Guinea Watt. They could call themselves Guinea Watts all day long. I don't care less.
Hey, look,
They could
bro.
call this.
Hey, look, it's three foundations that you can build off of for people that want to know the origin of what you're talking about. Is part of the black rulership, but it's separate, but it's still part of it. But you have the dumb diverses, the Inticatera, and you have the Papal Bull of 1451, 1492. You know what I'm saying? And I'll share my screen on it in a second after you're done. But that's the thing, and it's through the Catholic Church. That's how they came here. They came here. Part of one of the main people to look up is Charles V. Um, he, it's got some fake images out there of him, but he's got another name. It's slipping my mind. It'll come back to me in a second. He's on the Inca Chiefs list. That's where you can find his name at, and he was one of the main people that was moving around in order to help get this shit going. And there's a lot of ways that this shit happened. It's not just one way to tell the story. But that's if you look at the Catholic Church, you look at people similar to Charles V, and you look at they were going through family beefs. You know what I'm saying? I call them family because they servants. They were going through a lot of uh land rights. They were fighting over land. They were fighting over birthrights. They were fighting over all kind of dumb shit. And when they went through a dark age, our people were living. You know what I'm saying? Our people were living high. We were good. We were in our we were, we were we were living on thrones and all that. So that's what you would have to. That's people that wanted to know the origin of what the brother's talking about. Dumb diverses, Inticatera, and the Papal Bull of 1492. Because when they came here, they didn't come here one time and started all this shit. That we had been trading with them because we had international trade routes and we had been helping them to get back right. That's how
Hmm.
they got out of the dark age. We helped them come out of the dark age. We
Facts.
were sending them a lot of resources out there. And once they figured, somebody said it in the chat. I can't remember. I think it was Ministry of Ascension said it about our spirit. Yes, we have great spirits because our people are the progenitors of culture, of everything. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how our ancestors thought. That was the mind state. We're not gonna be living, you know what I'm saying, like high on the hog for lack of term. We're not gonna be living in riches and all this glory and had the rest of the world fucked up. You know, my personal opinion should have left them like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We wouldn't be dealing with some of the issues we're dealing with now, but we here. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, that's where it comes from. That's why I don't rock with the Moors. I don't rock with the so-called Africans. I don't rock with none of them because they all took the blessings that our ancestors bestowed and traded. You know what I'm saying? It was the melanated nations that traded on us and our own ancestors helped them to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They couldn't get it off by themselves. You know, any part of the story of our history always deals with traitors. Why? Because we have open hearts, bro. We have the biggest heart because we want to see the world succeed. Period. But we're not gonna watch the world succeed over the prosperity of us. No human group will. Like it makes no sense to watch other people thrive over you. You know what I'm saying? When you got them started, it just makes no sense. And you're not gonna bastardize our teachings. You're not gonna bastardize the history. None of that. But that's where that shit came from. You had to look at Charles V. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they're the ones that created the Bible, brother, which is why so many of our people are brainwashed with that Bible. Because during
Facts.
that time, the Papist Bull time you're talking about, that's when the Queen decided, oh, let's get this Bible. Oh, we learned about
That's
them, but
right.
like you say, our brothers sat there and told them our information, being, oh, let's try to help these dummies. I'm sorry, not like that, but they was thinking, let's help them.
Say what you
So
gotta
they,
say.
yeah, what'd you say, brother? I'm sorry.
No, you're saying it correct.
Yes, brother. So they what they did was say, okay, so they took our information, decided how to rearrange the information, use it against us because they knew it would be able to connect with us because it was true information. This is why a lot of people, oh, the Bible ain't real, it's fake. They got to understand it's not that it's fake. There's information in there about us, but we just don't understand how to read it. And they keep us from not understanding. And what's happening now, we're coming out from under that and we're seeing it. But the queen decided, let's make it. They decided they made the Bible and they said, we'll control the nations of this. And this is how they started using everything to start ruling. They started going in with the Christianity. And people don't know that Christianity, if they understood, comes from the Cretans, which is those Caucasus Mountain people. When the brother was saying that about Cat Williams, I'm tripping. I love me some Cat. Because when I say that boy spit nothing but knowledge, nobody understands. They laughing at everything he said. All he did was stand up there and tell the truth. Everything damn near that man said was the truth. Everything he talked about, everything. Even when it came to, they tried to make a fool out of him, say he was crazy on crack, he's a nut, all that stuff. He fighting with kids. He did that. He talked about it. He said he did it himself. He said, because I had to make myself look crazy before they did it. He said, so I decided to go and do that. That man's very intelligent, very smart. And he sure was telling it. The same thing Richard Pryor did in that thing when he told about in Egypt. He said, look, everything black. I don't know if y'all remember that or y'all too young. But
I remember
But
that.
no,
I remember that episode.
he
He
went to
was
the
in the
pyramid.
crypt. He was in the pyramid. He was going crazy. Like, look at the book of Eli. The book of this. The
And
book of
and with the and when
that.
yes.
but he went to the
So
Hey,
they,
pyramid when
hey,
he was
hey, hey,
debating.
hey. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Miss Wise, one of my moderators. She's been keeping up the lives. Shout out to her. Shout out to First Lady. These mods are keeping it going. I want to just give them some respect. These mods are holding it down in the chat. Okay,
definitely.
but
I just wanted to touch on a few things right quick because what you were saying was correct because when Richard Pryor went into that tomb in that pyramid with those two white boys, and he opened that book up and looked like, wait, oh wait, some people look like me. And what the white people did, they started backing out. They started backing out and closed the door on them and locked them
Yep.
inside there.
Locked this behind right up in there.
But that was a subliminal message right there when they eased and locked them in because why? They didn't want that information that he found out in the street.
Exactly, brother. And when they
Facts.
do that, they make
Facts.
sure that they keep the information and they show and see what happened is they can only hide so much of the truth even with the queen or whatever. I believe and I'm almost sure the only reason a lot of the information in the Bible is true, but they just changed it around, is because they know the repercussions of not putting that information. They scared. They like, oh, I don't know, want no spirits. We got to at least put that. That's the reason I believe that some of the information is true as well, because they were scared not to put everything in there, and they had to use it so that it would resonate with us, and our spirits would say, oh yeah, that's true. So
Some people
they
don't
yes,
know
use
well,
that
we
information.
definitely are spiritual people.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
man, it's about to
For
the
get hot in
real.
here,
We
man. Because
believe
yeah,
we
you
believe
look
in
at us.
God, not religion.
I'm not.
but
Yeah, I'm
because
not the one
Right.
to.
And
some
I
and
people,
that
I'll get the Bible no credit, especially when you open in the
hey, real,
glossary.
hey, real, cut that out,
I'm
man.
about to go off. Dog. I'm about to go off,
Cut that
it's
dog.
a
out,
book.
Wolf.
Don't
Cut
listen.
that out,
Can I
Wolf.
say something? Let me say this.
Hey,
Real
cut
quick,
that
let me say
out,
my
man. Me
topic
and you
real
had this
quick. I
conversation
understand where you coming from.
offline.
But let me ask y'all something.
Real quick.
If the
No,
Bible tells
no,
you
we not going there. We not going
don't
there, Peanut.
steal or kill, is that a bad thing to say?
Well, the Bible
No,
kills.
because
Depend on
more
why you.
people were killed in the name of God more than anything else, and stolen. And our own
That's
people
right.
were stolen in the name of God more than anything else. Think
Yes.
about it,
Yeah,
from the
that's definitely
Protestants
correct.
all the way down to the
I'm asking a
escapades.
question. Are there things that we can't use that are good of good in the Bible?
I think that
In
we have
certain
to
things,
understand it. We have to know what it's saying and what it means before. And I'm sorry, sister, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
But this dude fishing, boy, I swear.
Yeah. Nah.
Oh, I
But
didn't
look,
see
check.
that.
Look, check this out. Check this out. Check
The
this out.
Bible talks about the spiritual nature. See, the thing is, this is the thing, right? They keep us in the physical, right? So we don't understand the spiritual, sister and brothers. We don't understand or connect really. We know the spirit, but we don't understand how to connect with it because they brainwashed us and messed us up so much into being caught up into the physical of everything. So when people reading the Bible, right, they're looking at it and they're reading it literally in a literal physical sense. And, and what the thing is, a lot of the information in the Bible is telling us about us, telling us how to connect with our spirit. It tells us things that we need enlighten in our minds. It talks about things that we have to understand on a spiritual nature. That's why you have to decipher certain things. And everything is not going to be for everybody. So I'm not saying that, like the brother said, oh, no, I'm throwing out or whatever. That's fine if you want to do that. But me, myself, I'm not a Bible thumper, but I've definitely learned a lot of information. Had it not been for the Bible, I would never have gone vegan. I would never have been able to open my spiritual mind to be clean, to start studying and
Wow.
being enlightened. I'm
Hold
just
on.
being real with you.
Hold on,
So
Peanut.
I'm
Hold
just
on.
saying there's certain things that I got from the Bible just by reading and understanding certain things from it. And I understood that some of it wasn't factual. I was in church, I was staying in church, these pastors teaching stuff, and I'm looking like, this doesn't make sense. What he's saying is not the same thing I'm reading from the Bible. And it literally never made sense to me. And then when I started studying to myself and I let my spirit discern for me what I was understanding, then it showed me different things and nothing but improvements in my life since then. I'm just saying that. And I'm not a
All
Bible
right.
thumper. I don't run the church. I'm just letting y'all know because I know what it is.
All right. So look.
Oh, wait. Oh, really?
No, no,
Before you
no, man. Hey, bro, hold on. Y'all don't. Hold on. Hold on. So I'm not coming at the sister because I know y'all think I'm about to come at it. Like, I know what she's saying because I always say it's like 10% truth in the book because once again, when you go back, because there's two councils in Nicaea. See, Negroes only tell you about the first one in 325, but there was another one I believe in like the 700s, 600s, 700s. But the thing is this: all of the Bible it
you talking
that
about
y'all that
Constantine. You talking about Constantine in 320
yeah, I'm
AD.
about to get into it. I'm about to get into it. I ain't gonna get deep because we all know this shit. But the thing is, all of the Bible, you know what I'm saying, is allegedly based on paganism. And that's the
Yep,
same contradiction that dumb diverses, people that wrote the dumb diverses came to come deal with us on because they consider us pagan. But the original principle of the people that helped construe and put the Bible together because they didn't write it, you know what I'm saying? They would be what they persecuted us for, being non-Christian believers, non-believers of the Jewish faith. And the Bible is a book of astrology. It's bastardized
yes,
astrology. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
And they teach it all twisted, all messed up. The Bible, you know, if the sister is a vegan, the Bible still tells you it's okay to eat meat. It just says
That's the New
because
Testament.
because of a certain animal isn't clove footed, you know what I'm saying? Don't eat certain clove footed animals. And if the animal doesn't eat the cud of the land, see, I study the Bible. I don't fuck with it because I know what it's all about. I study like extensively, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to be able to know it to be able to deal with it. So when it tells you that you can eat up the cud and Deuteronomy, you can eat the animal that eats the cud. Well, beef is still garbage.
Okay, Copper Color said, "Excuse me," but he said, "Sorry, there's a book in the Apocrypha that explains
Hold on, we're not even
what
dealing with
happened
the
to the
Apocrypha
spirit."
yet. We're not even
Once,
dealing with the Apocrypha yet. We're dealing with the slave Bible that we all were taught on. Now, I ain't gonna speak for people, but the one that I was taught on, the fake 1611 Bible that the
well,
Hebrews would
I got
take.
a couple.
Hold
I
on.
I
got the
have
Apocrypha.
Apocrypha.
I was
I
gonna
got a
comment
couple of.
on what you said though. I'm saying all this so I can comment on what you said. Let me not be long with it. So you said if the principle, if there's something that is good in the Bible, go with it. All right. Well, it's the thing. Galatians 4, chapter 20, or chapter 4, verse 24, after one of the stories of the Old Testament, tell you it's allegory. Because all the Old Testament is allegory. All the characters are fake.
Right.
Now, Hosea
Fact.
for what
But
is
it's
it?
not fake. It's talking about spirits, brother. Just to clarify that for people to understand, it's not really fake. When it's talking about the
But
different people,
but I
it's
want
talking
I
about
want the
different.
people in the chat to understand.
The
I this
reference
is his this is
is
real
real people.
raps. Listen, real rap. Hold up for a second.
Yeah, it's my opinion.
Hold up. This is his opinion because I take things from the Bible. Okay, I use them certain parts for wisdom. Okay,
Facts.
so that's his opinion. Okay, I want y'all to read the dialogues when y'all come in the chat. The people that's on my panel does not reflect the opinions of Peanut Nola 504. That's just his opinion. Okay,
My dog sound
go
like
ahead.
ESPN. You know what I'm saying? He sound like one of them core TV shows. You know what I'm saying? The opinion of the characters do not do not reflect the channel. I got you. But look, check this out. Hosea 4:6 tell you that my people are destroyed due to lack of knowledge. I can't disagree with that. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't agree. This where I'm at with it, sister, and everybody on the panel and everybody listening. It's my opinion. I don't agree with none of the stories. I can't confirm that a man lived in the belly of a whale for 3 days. Can't confirm that. Neither can I confirm. This what ends my Bible debate as far as the stories. I don't agree with none of the stories. Is this how can 8 people repopulate the earth post flood? I still have not got an answer on that. How can 8 people repopulate the earth, and not just that, but how do we get the different races? You know
You
what I'm
think
saying?
everybody on the earth? This is a quick question. I'm
Eddie
sorry, I don't mean to
Griffin
cut you off.
said that about that whale story.
In the
You think?
context, though, see, like we
Do you think
understand that the
everybody
go ahead,
was killed though, baby? Hold on, I'm sorry. You got to address this real
go
quick
ahead.
for me. I'm sorry. Now, even though it talks about the
Uh
great
oh.
flood in the Bible, do you believe that every single person on the earth was destroyed? You think that that flood? Now, it said
That's
that
the context that the Bible gives. I don't
it
believe
says
that.
specifically that. Okay.
It says, look, we can get it. I got the Bible right here. We can get it.
I don't know. I'm not arguing. All
No,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
is
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't believe
It's
because there
specific.
were the people. Let's just clarify something real quick.
Uh-huh.
There were the people, the Caucasus people living in the mountains. It's very possible a lot of those people survived. It's very possible a lot of other
Where's my
people
Bible?
survived in different areas as well. I'm just saying that. That's just something to think about.
I know I got
Mm-mm.
mad. I got mad and threw one
Mm-mm.
of them Bibles away. I threw one of them in the trash. I know I got
You
another
should
one
burn them
somewhere.
all.
But nah, the context, look, this is the thing. The context of the Bible in the days of Noah, because it was like this is allegedly Noah's family that we dealing with.
I don't believe
The
no because
whole
you
point
don't
of the
have hell
dove,
no
hold
vote.
on, bro. The whole point of the dove, like when they kept sending the dove out, was to find if there was finally dry land. You know what I'm saying? Which means nobody made it. Like basically the context of how the Bible was saying everybody died. Everybody that wasn't them 8 people died. That's the context. I wouldn't lie to you on that. If I could
But
find my Bible, I'll read it.
there were people that lived underwater, sweetheart, too. There were Atlantean
Look,
people even
see,
then.
this is the
I'm
thing.
just saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but like we using outside sources. I'm only using the context and how the Bible. That's why I say it's a BS book because it doesn't use the knowledge that you're presenting. It doesn't use logic at times. You know what I'm saying? It's not logical. There's
But we have to
contradictions I could find
use
all
our
throughout.
mind to think about ways that outweigh the apparent logic. Let's say that. Whatever we see that's the surface, right? A lot of times it's not always true. And a lot of times things are put particularly in our face to be deceptive to us most of the time, to be honest, and what's going on with us. So when you think of that, it's very possible something's
I
omitted
don't
so that
believe
you're
none of
not
this fairy
seeing it.
tale bullshit about him sleeping in a whale for 3 months and no months. I'm sorry about that.
I don't. I don't believe none of
That don't
that because
necessarily
it's
mean he slept
allegory.
in a
See,
well.
like look, this is the thing. It's allegory, bro. Like allegory is just it's a fable, it's a parable, it's a way to tell a story
And use
with
something else. Exactly.
so that's the whole thing. So that's why none of that is real. Like this is the thing. You're not gonna tell me a story about Abraham and right after say it's allegories or it's allegorical. That lets me know that that's a fake story. On top of this, I want to address my brother right quick before I forget him. Sean said, I'm gonna come back. Hold on. Sean said, there was two Noahs of every nah, bro. It was two Janices. You know what I'm saying? That's or but Noah is the symbolic. He's the symbolic face of Janus. That's why when you have the coin of Janus, or when you have the calendar, you have two faces facing two separate ways. That's for the old world and the new world. Janus was facing the old world, and then the other Janus was looking at the new world. But they allegedly say that's Noah, but we can't confirm that, bro. Like that's the thing. I know a lot of this knowledge, bro, and it's not a knowledge contest. But the thing, like what the brother was saying, I'm in agreement. I don't believe none of it. Now, when it's got knowledge on, like for instance, there's reincarnation in the Bible. It's in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, Ecclesiastes. It goes into reincarnation, you know what I'm saying, or regeneration, like whatever the so-called Bible scholars want to call it. Well, it tells you that there's nothing new under the sun. I can agree with that, but I don't agree with how they try to represent reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with how they try to teach it either. But that's the thing though. They get all these old principles from our stories. That's why I don't give credit to the Bible at all. I can give credit to where, like I said, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed lack of knowledge. That's a good quote, but they didn't create that. Nothing in the Bible that you see is created. Christianity is only 2,000 years old. Our spiritual systems predate all that. So that's my point. That's why I don't give credit to none of that because it's only 2,000 years old, allegedly,
Well,
with
for
the
all the tribes that's in here,
Gregorian calendar
we
and
just
the
gonna have to
Julian
agree
calendar.
to disagree because they got some tribal members that believe in parts of the scriptures, and some tribal members don't. So we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
And look, I'll
And
put
could
it like
and
this.
is it necessary? Is it possible that Noah, is not so much talking about a person, but it's actually talking about a spirit in a way of being, or a way that things transpired when there was reformation over the earth, when things needed to be cut down because they were not performing correctly. So nature had to take over course, right? And it's very possible that when the Bible is talking about Noah, we're not literally talking about a physical person. We're talking about a time and an event where something transpired to make a transformation over a nation of people. That's what I take out of the Noah, just to verify that.
I feel you, but me personally, I can't speculate. I can only deal with the context that it leads me. Other than that, I'm adding my opinion to it. That's why I don't really get into like this isn't a debate or nothing, but I don't get into the debates because it becomes subjective. It's not objective. It's subjective because there's no spirits that the Bible speaks of that we can reference. Like
But
there's
well, but you hold up now. You may not can reference, but have you ever seen a spirit? See, I'm a spiritual person who have had episodes of seeing spirits. So the Bible is telling some of these things in the Bible. So why would I think that's not true if I see spirits?
that's a whole separate point. We could deal with that, but that's a whole separate point. We could
Because
deal with that
because
though.
our melanated copper people are spiritual people. We have the ability to have connection with the spirit world. We are the closest thing in nature. We can. So that's why people talk about we witch doctors and all this other stuff, but
Well,
that's
that's what
not
I
true.
call it. I call it nature. What you just called it. I call it nature, bro. And I'm tapped in with nature. I'm not as tapped in as others are and as I need to be. You know what I'm saying? But I love nature, bro. We talk about this offline all the time. Like nature, like to answer your question, have I seen spirits? I can't say I've sat and seen a spirit. I've seen things, you know what I'm saying? But like it's science, bro. Until you create a variable and it's multiple times, you're different. You see them. I don't. But back to nature. The thing is this. I'm tapped in with nature, bro. I know everything we get, everything from nature. There's nothing that you can look at today, wherever you are, wherever you're sitting at, you look around your room that wasn't in nature at one time first. So yes, nature is very important. And for instance, God, right? The creator. I see people comment on the creator. God is just a term. Even in the Bible, my last point on the Bible, like the reason why I don't respect the Jesus thing, because the Bible in Revelations, I believe 19:12 tells you that Jesus' name wasn't his name. Nobody knows the real name. You know what I'm saying? And everybody
He
knows,
wore a crown of many crowns.
right? And like the letter J wasn't invented till the 1600s. So the whole thing is
Yasha.
God is just a term. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a term. Psalms 82 verse 6 tell you a God. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
tells you that you God. So the
Hmm.
thing is this, bro, like what we consider terms, right? Like with the
What you
universe.
just
I
said, I'm sorry,
Go
brother.
ahead.
What you just said
Go ahead,
about
sis.
the Jesus thing, right?
That's right,
Now,
Gretchen.
that's
That's right,
that.
Gretchen.
Oh, you want to say? Go ahead, brother.
No, I was
What?
just telling Gretchen Harold that is definitely correct. Because one thing I won't do is question anybody's faith.
Right.
That's just what I won't do. Because I may not believe in white Jesus, but I have a spiritual connection with the Most High. You may not have that, but that's you.
And when it comes to the Christ thing, brother, you just said it wears. I don't know I can't quote the verse, but you just said something about. He said, "I wear a crown of many something." Right. That goes back and references to the spiritual connection. And when you have that enlightened mind and spirit, and you're connecting to the spirit nature versus the physical nature of this particular earth that we're walking on, right? That
Uh,
is the enlightenment, the Christos spirit in your mind. This is why the Christ is in you. It's certain scriptures in the Bible that tells you the Christ is in you. It says that, like you just said, it says you are God because God is within you. It also says, I made you in my image. God is God, the God, as we say, the spirit or persona, as people say, God, Yahweh, Yahshua, whatever you want to say. That particular one, the source is what I would call it, would be the connection of everybody having a part of that. As long
uh,
as you have life within you, you are a part of that spiritual nature of God, just like anything else on this earth. Anything that's living life, that has life within it. All of this is the photonic energy, the orgone energy that is actually released from the sun, and that gives us the energy of life on this earth. There would be, there would be no life if it wasn't for the orgone energy. And that's in
I'm in agreement.
everybody. It's in
It's
plants, it's in us. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's nothing that you're saying. Like when you get to like your ultimate point, like your big picture point, I'm in 100% agreement. The only thing is this: everything that you're saying, they know, like the people that run this system, they know how to manipulate that because they know we're spiritual people. So they bastardize the beautiful teaching that you just went through. They bastardize that in order to manipulate our spiritual energy. Because yes, we're spiritual people. I get where you're going now. Like I just had to hear you out, and I'm in
Yes.
agreement. That's why, like from what I was saying earlier with them obelisks. You know what I'm saying? They want us to vibrate a low energy because
Yes.
the woman, the melanated man and woman of the Americas, we vibrate the highest energy in the world. Period. Whether it's a negative or a positive energy, they just need to cipher that energy. That's why they
Yes.
get us in the church system.
Yes,
That's why
it lowers
they,
the
they
vibration. They don't even know. People in church and they're in church and they're praising. Ooh, they think they're praising this God from this Bible that they're worshiping, right? Not understanding the energy they're creating in that church. These people are literally drawing from it. This World Wide Web that they talk about is a real thing. This is not nothing. They just the World Wide Web. They thinking it's the computer. Computers are connecting. No, they're connecting you, your mind, your brain. There's literally a program that this famous ignorant ass Obama put out, the DARPA program, which is a brain mapping program, which allows them to literally tap into our minds, to tap into our thoughts, our subconscious thoughts. The difference in the subconscious and the conscious mind is our spirit, and our subconscious mind is the brain. And the brain is easily manipulated because it is a physical matter that is tapped
hmm
into.
hmm
They're able to tap into it because the brain mapping program allows them to read your thoughts. They put thoughts in your mind. You might be sitting there on your phone doing something, then something pop in your head. You're like, oh, why did I think about that? Oh, I'm gonna go do this. You don't even know why that shit happened. I know y'all done heard it, felt it happen, or seen it happen to you, because this is something they doing. They're playing with people. They're manipulating us with these portals, these phones, the computer, all the telekinesis, all these things connect to us because they use these things. They're mapped out after us. If people don't know that, just to verify that. The phone, they would have never been able to make these phones and these computers had it not been us. All this stuff is modeled after us. It's made after us. This is why they're able to tap into us with these things. The brain mapping program, everything. It's crazy. So with the brain mapping, they can put thoughts in your head. They can make you say, "Oh yeah, let me get up and go to work every day. I got to sit up and go to work every day and work 40 hours a week. I got to plan my life around this whole weekly
That's
schedule."
indoctrination too, though, sis. That's the
Yes,
indoctrination, like what you said earlier, when they get you from a small child, and
yes,
the how some of our lineage say the tell lie vision, right? You know what I'm saying? They sit
yes.
you in front of the tell lie vision because you're being programmed. You know what I'm saying?
Programs
Through the TV, they tell you what they doing to
with
you,
the pixels,
but we don't pick up on it. You
the
know,
black
we
and
don't pick.
white.
Exact. It's right there in
They
front of
took
you.
the
So
shit out once they put it in the TV. This is another thing, brother. Once they put the black and white in the TV, right? They had the option to do color TV. People don't think of this. Why did they start off with the black and white shit? Why did they start with black and white TVs? And then when they went to color TV, right? If you can remember, the station would go off, and then after the station went off, it was this black and white static. You probably young, brother, but it used to be this black and
now
white
I
static.
I research. I research. I'm
Oh,
31.
okay.
I
So
research.
yeah, it used to be the static, that static, which is the black and white. You would hear that noise. It was a weird noise and shit too. We didn't even understand they were brain mapping us at that time. They were programming us at that time. We sleep and they programming us and shit we don't even know.
Hey,
Programming
pause
our
right
kids.
quick. Hold
I'm
on.
sorry, go ahead.
No. You good? And pardon me. Hey, bro. Hey, somebody get that cool nigga out of here, man. He said dirt is not a lie. What are you talking about? We come from the dirt. Like, bro,
Wow.
I don't want to have to read the definition of copper, man. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to have to do that. But I don't like when niggas come up in here like everybody entitled to their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? But don't come in here misleading nobody, bro. Period. And then I don't like niggas with names like that. Pure Truth, Son of the Creator, nigga. I don't see nothing pure about you. You done came in here
Come
in the
on,
first
y'all.
five
Let's have
minutes
some
and
respect.
said
Let's
some
have some
bullshit.
respect with each other. Come on.
Nah, I'm not disrespecting. I'm saying what he said is some bullshit because you can't mislead people, bro, or whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? But go
But
ahead,
that's
sis. My
bringing
bad.
attention to him, baby. Don't even worry about what he's talking about. That's that low energy. See, that's the vibration. He got just what he wanted out of you. This is how they manipulate us. You don't even see it. He got what he wanted. He wanted to take your attention, make you bring we having a great positive conversation. He wanted to take your attention, take it to something else, bring you to a low vibrational state, and look what you did. Don't feed into it. You already know. It's a game.
I'm
Ignore that and
not
keep
perfect.
moving. You was looking at
Like,
something.
hey, for sure. No, and for sure. And I appreciate the edification. You know what I'm saying? Just for me, like I know it's my boy channel, but I don't like we don't let none of that ride. That's why I say people like more than welcome to their opinion. And to get back to it, like with the like like with what we were talking about with the like the energy, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And the manipulation of the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um One thing about that I tell people, and it's just basic, but you had to invest, you know what I'm saying, and those that invest in you. So people always misconstrue, like, do you have a hatred for Africans? Do you have a hatred for blacks and all this? I say no. I have
We
love
don't.
for me and mine, and I invest in me and mine.
Who
You know what I'm
timed
saying?
out Miss Wise? Ain't nobody supposed to time out no Miss Wise.
Mm-mm.
No, she
Come
hold
on
on.
now. I'm sorry, Miss Wise. I don't know
No,
who would
she
do.
didn't. No,
I didn't
hey,
time
bro.
you out.
Hey, bro, she didn't get timed out. She said she timed him out. She did me a
Oh,
favor for the chat.
okay.
I
All right. All
appreciate
right.
you, Miss Ward.
He said,
Thank
"Who
you.
timed her out? Hold on
One
now.
of the
I
shooters.
know how
See,
to
and look,
act,
that's
brother.
the thing.
I know
I
how
don't
to act,
disagree.
brother. Stand on your
I don't
puss.
disagree with the sister, right? With Sister Soul. I don't agree. I don't disagree with her. I agree with it. It's the thing though. Everybody shooters. We warriors around here at the same time. Like I
Right.
understand what you're saying about the vibration and all that, and I agree. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we warriors, and that's what we do. We build, and it's like how Pac said, like, not a killer, but don't push us to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you will get dealt with, and then we're gonna get right back to the, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't stopping nothing. But that's what I wanted to say was the manipulation of the vibration
Yes.
and the energy. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I tell people that I only am concerned with my American Aborigine. You know what I'm saying? And that was a great segue too, because I don't know why they here. You know what I'm saying? If y'all doing what y'all doing and like you pushing whatever line you pushing, then why are you concerned with us? That's why I tell people like every other nation, a group of people can take pride in where they come from, who they are, except for American Aborigine. Why is that? Because they don't want us getting tied back to our greatness through the
Right.
woman, you know what I'm saying? Through the womb, coming, you know what I'm saying, procreating with our women. Cause I can't stand that either. Niggas that have these mixed relationships and shit, procreating with other I'll just say life forces, you know what I'm saying? And you
Right.
don't create a American Aborigine, in my opinion, you have no room to talk. You know what I'm saying? You are no longer a part of this conversation to where you
They
have a
don't know
valid
that they
opinion.
used to take that brother to use. This is how they stole our land from us. That's crazy. They took those white women, right? They would lay, the women would lay with the Aboriginal man. Once they have an Aboriginal child, they had stake to get farmland. This is how they stole a lot of our land from us. And these brothers still doing it today. It's crazy. And it has nothing to do with me being prejudiced because I don't care about those people. I just care about me and mine. But I'm just saying, I don't care either way. But when it
You
comes
can't
to
be
that, they don't
prejudiced.
understand.
You can't be prejudiced, sis. You know why? Because you don't determine where people can live and where they can't. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Right.
determine how much taxes is taken out of somebody's check. You don't
Mm.
determine none of that. Like I'm not saying you can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
saying you like,
They prohibited
but
it.
you didn't create genocide. You didn't create
Hmm.
colonization. You didn't do those things. So you don't have to justify or even explain anything as far as being, oh, I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced. You don't have to say that because
I feel you,
you
brother.
didn't create the paradigm
Yes.
that we suffer from. You know what I'm saying? You just lived through it. You know what I'm saying? So at
Facts.
the end of the day, you don't have to explain yourself. However you feel is how you feel. Period. And majority of the time, you know what I'm saying, we are the beacon of light. You know what I'm saying? As long as we in our right mind and we vibrating on the right energies, we are the beacon of light. We are the judges of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Reference from the alleged Bible. You know what I'm saying? It says that you're a
Facts.
judge of the earth, but you're to be, you know what I'm saying, but you'll die like a man. You know what I'm saying? What that saying is, you know, if you're not in your right state, if you're not where you're supposed to be, you'll fall. Basically, is what it's getting at. And at the end of the day, I don't feel like everybody is meant to be a chief or everybody is meant to be in a leadership position. I'm working toward that. I'm working to obtain that, you know, for my nation. But my thing is this: I let people know, you know, what I'm saying, like there's levels to everything, you know, and that's why I say we have to meet people where they are. Like I don't like the term black, but I'll use it, you know what I'm saying, to stop to say like if I'm trying to bring a person in, you know, before I would never say black Indian, but I was edified on look, bro. If I meet them where they at and bring them to the level, then they'll understand not to use that term. Not to be a hypocrite or nothing like that, but majority of the time they won't connect on the word Aborigine. It's sad and unfortunate, but that's what we have to do. You know, that's my work that I have to do is to get that to get our turns back popular. You know what I'm saying? To get our turns back popular because like we run and rule the world even from a alleged low state, right? A low position in the hierarchy. Everybody, like how Paul Mooney said, everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
And we need
with
to get to the names that subscribe to letting them know that we
facts,
know who we are.
facts.
Like my, you see my
And
name,
then,
brother.
and then
My name is.
what
Oh,
what people got to understand, and going back to Chief, Chief is not something special. It's. I want you to understand, Chief is a servant. Your
mm,
job is to serve the people, serve your tribes.
mm. And chief is a title.
Y'all go ahead.
Correct. Correct, brother. Chief is like chief. Like I see like chief this and chief this Holberg. You know, I see different names with the chief this title. So, with the name, I call myself now. This time I just made up from what I feel out of myself. Sis Star Soul. I feel I'm a star, which is a starlight. You know, spirit. That's what I am, and that's my soul, and that's all that I am, really. So that's why I call myself Sis Star Soul. So that would be chiefess sister soul. And I do exactly that, brother. That's all I do is serve. I literally buy things and go give to the homeless. Me and my daughters ride around. This is what I do. I do this all the time. And I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. This is the only way to be enlightened and to help is to serve. When you serve, things are gonna come to you. People don't even realize that they be like, oh, I'm scared to help this person and give them this, not knowing it'll come back. You don't do it for that reason, but it will. Whatever is meant to be in your life is going to be replenished when you're doing the right things. That's the whole vibration state as well.
That's facts. Copper Color Tie said, keep in mind there are some children slash individuals that are biracial, can't help it, but want to be a part of the cause. Turned out to be some of the greatest leaders. All right, and it got cut off. All right, this is the thing, bro. Our society is matrilineal. You know what I'm saying? So the child is gonna follow after the mother. You know what I'm saying? If the mother is indigenous, then that's what the child is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But this the thing though. When you look up history, right? The people that made the moves in the 1800s, that made the negative moves, were the biracial people from the tribe. That's how, like, I'm not saying all people on the rolls were biracial either, but some of the ones that led to push people on rolls and shit like that, they were biracial, man. You know what I'm saying? And they did bastardly things because they were led by their white fathers. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's the hard part because I got biracial people in my family too, right? Like my nephew has children with a pale face. I love them to death, man. You know what I'm saying? They look like us. They don't look like her. They look like us. You know what I'm saying? But I mean that's a tough conversation. I'm gonna leave that for offline. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel I have strong feelings about that, and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, offend anybody. But the point that I wanted to make is we're matrilineal, bro. So the seed line falls with the mother. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we do our genealogy. That's how it's able to find your ancestors. A lot smoother is by following the bloodline of the mother, bro.
Mm.
I'm getting poor reception. We're gonna close this thing, and I want y'all to get your last piece out. So we're gonna
Mm.
close this thing. We're gonna start you off real rap.
I'm gonna let the uh I'm gonna let the chief go first. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still ladies first. I'm good, bro. I mean, I don't really need to close out, but I'll let her go first for sure.
Well, you're talking to me. I'm sorry, brother.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This was an awesome bill. I appreciate you guys sharing information with me. And I'll definitely join you guys again. I appreciate the welcome as well to your panel, brother.
For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. Chief having some technical difficulties, man. Um Nasir, do you want to close out, bro?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. I want to say, hey, hell of a panel today. Let's keep this going. We're stronger together than we are divided. Gotta stay strong together and let's stay that way. Adios.
Bet, man. It's a bet. And it's always a pleasure, man, to come cook with my brother. Um, especially with my channel right now, you know what I'm saying? So and my little situation. So, if it's cool with Peanut, you know what I'm saying, I would like to do this again more often. But salute to everybody, man, that pulled up. From I'm gonna just go through Chief Fleming, Miss Wise, James Roselle, Copper Color Tie. Let me see. Let me get through this. 1 second, yo. Let me shout everybody out. Nappy Nation, Charles Johnson, Stephen Redclay, my brother Rainstorm. Who else we had? We had Sister Soul, Sister Star, pardon me. We had my brother 504 Nasir, First Lady, Ministry of Ascension, trying to catch everybody. Hardline Boss, Michael Brown, Harris, Cheat, Charles Johnson. I got my dog. Trying to go as far back, catch everybody. I know we had Lady Solo in here. I know we had Tanya Lloyd, Gretchen Helm, salute. Sean Israel, my brother, salute. I'm trying to go as far back. Shayla Wu, salute. Man, it was deep up in here. As far back as I can go. And definitely, man. One thing about this is like I always tell y'all, like we got to get something from these bills. You know what I'm saying? And salute to everybody's watching this on the playback. But that's my thing. That's my personal goal is to get something personal that I could take to the personal, and add either to my lexicon, to my language, or add something direct to my life, man. So these bills are important. But like how Chief said, man, it starts in the home, and I can't tell the next person how to conduct their home if I'm not conducting my home properly. But that's it, man. I ain't gonna be long winded. Peace to my American Aborigine, my copper colored, you know what I'm saying? All my descendants of Turtle Island, the whole Turtle Island, from Greenland all the way down to Antarctica, man. South America, Central, you know what I'm saying? Salute to the lineage. Peace. There she go, that KJ go. Salute to my sis. Um, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Peace to Peanut, bro. Appreciate the bill, bro. Gratitude.
Once again, what an outstanding bill. I just think that connection of me and Chief Real Rap, we just got a great connection. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I want to thank everybody. And remember, see, you can't get your egos too far up your ass. Understand? You got to hold your feelings and leave them feelings at home. We're trying to build and we're trying to save our nation of people. So I want to thank everybody who showed up. Please share the video, subscribe to Peanut Nola 504. Also hit the bell. Also remember to subscribe to Chief Real Rap, Chief 504 Aborigine Warrior. That's my co-host. So I want to and everybody else, Sister Soul, she was real good today. And Nigel Welch, and we want to thank everybody who came on the panel today. So we're gonna leave this thing like we started it. Okay, so I'll get my intro going because you know how I like to do it. Let's do it a little countdown.